Well, I wouldn't say Jim Norton and Sam Roberts are live. Jim Norton and Denny. Hello. Sam is gallivanting. He had a WWE gig last night, and I think it was in St. Louis. And there's no red eyes from St. Louis because he'll normally just leave.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes me happy that he gets to do the pre-show and then has to leave and not even watch the event. I know that hurts him a lot.
Sure.
But he can't. Last night he stayed because there was no red eye leaving St. Louis. So he doesn't land until 10:30 or 11 this morning, so we will not have Sam today.
Isn't St. Louis a major hub?
It is, but I guess they don't do overnights. There's probably not a big demand. You know, people want to get out early in the morning. They're probably all left early in the morning. Like when you want to leave St. Louis, you want to get out. You don't want to wait till the end of the night.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
Probably a time zone issue.
You ever play St. Louis?
I did. I played, I forget the name of the theater. I think I played St. Louis once, and it was good. I have a bunch of these dates coming up again, but I'm pretty sure I did do St. Louis, and it was nice. I did a bunch of markets last time I've never done before. It was really fun. Milwaukee, like Grand Rapids, Michigan, all these places I've never been to. But it was enjoyable. What'd you do for the weekend?
I DJ'd a wedding.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did a wedding. And yesterday, just Father's Day. Just kicked back, barbecue.
Oh, you have people over or just for your family?
Just my family. Yeah.
I don't know how... I have a grill. I don't know how to use it.
A gas grill?
No, I'm not allowed to have a gas grill. My building is, because of propane. Is that what makes a gas grill go?
Yeah.
So you're not allowed to, and so I'm like, just my luck, something would explode. My insurance wouldn't cover it, so I said, fuck it, and I got a little small charcoal grill.
Oh, see, how come you don't? You know what's good? The George Foreman grill.
Yeah, I have that, but is that good for outside?
Yeah, no, it's an indoor-outdoor grill.
Oh, I never thought to use it outside.
It's a George Foreman grill, yeah.
I have one. I have to get another one. I have one that he signed.
Yeah.
I'm not going to use that.
No, you want to use that one. No, get the regular one then. But you're allowed to have charcoal in the building and lighter fluid, but you can't have propane.
Propane can explode.
Yeah.
The other stuff, look, anything can burn.
Yeah.
But propane can explode.
Yeah, it did. It burnt down my cousin's house in North Carolina.
Did it really?
Yeah.
What happened?
It exploded.
What did he have it in?
In a tank.
And it was a gas grill?
Yeah. Yeah, something backfired outside when they were doing it, and luckily nobody got hurt, but the house did burn down.
But wait, they were there when it happened?
Yeah, they were having a barbecue or something, and I guess they fired it up, and it exploded.
Wow.
So I guess something was loose in the nozzle or something. I don't know.
So it explodes.
Yeah.
It causes a fire, and it was so bad that they couldn't
put it out. I
couldn't
guess.
put it
just,
out.
It spread. Before the fire trucks got there.
Well, I have all brick on the outside, but then again, if it bursts through the window, that might catch your furniture on fire.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I'm lucky; it's all brick.
And what do you have? A patio? You have an outdoor?
I have a little outdoor space. Yeah. It's a nice outdoor space.
So did you visit your dad yesterday for Father's Day?
No, I called him, and then I got a text from my mother an hour later saying, "You should call your father for Father's Day." I'm like, Mom, I left him a message.
Yeah.
And then my parents don't check their messages.
No.
It's the same thing happened on Mother's Day. I call, they don't answer. So I get a text from my dad later. He had been out.
Yeah.
And so I'll talk to him today, but we texted back and forth. And I was kind of annoyed that I missed it. It's so funny, though. They think I don't call them. And it's like, guys, you have them. I think they don't know how to use their iPhones. I think they don't know. Or maybe the notifications are not on.
Do you send them pictures and things?
I haven't. I would.
Yeah.
But it's just never come up. It just seems, my picture sending.
Well.
Yeah, it's very, very bad. So it's not something I do, with people
It's like who kid Instagram and things like that.
Yeah, it scares me. Now, somebody has a question. I don't know the answer to this. Let's see if maybe you do. Dustin in Ohio, hello.
Hey, how you doing? I wanted to touch base on the Megyn Kelly interview.
I didn't see it.
Alex. Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
I did not see it. That's where Sam is great. He watches all this stuff. But I was talking to Troy and Travis, and they said Alex did not come off looking good. Mm-hmm. And is it correct Alex issued an apology?
I believe so, right, Travis? Yeah, at least to the Newtown families.
What did he say? Do you have a copy of it?
Sincere regret.
Well, was it written or was it spoken?
I think it was written.
Okay, can we look at that?
Yeah, hang on.
So let me ask you, Dustin, what did you think of it?
Well, she hammered him pretty hard. Sandy Hook is one of the things that he has come out and retracted basically most of his views. But you got to understand something, though, with Alex. A lot of the stuff he said has come true, like it or not.
I'm sure some of it has. I'm sure.
And the press the mainstream media press is suppressing a lot of this stuff. You can go on real quick. You can go on YouTube right now.
Dude, hold on. Before you get into we all spiral into a crazy loop. You're right. Alex has been right about things, I'm sure. And you're right. There is a lot of lies from the government. But let's just talk about this one. He's wrong about, or he was wrong about. He was 100% wrong about this one. And when people have their children shot, it's and you come out and deny that it happened, it's gonna really, really make people hate your guts. So,
oh, sure,
it was a video.
Sure,
yeah, I think we have the video of his apology. Well, I did not see the interview, but I heard he didn't come off looking good again, which may have been selective editing as well. But the fact that he's coming out and apologizing should tell you something. Well, we'll keep you on. It's only a 1-minute apology if you want to hang on, Dustin.
Perfect.
Okay, let's play it. Trav Dog, play it.
Let's try.
I woke up this morning on Father's Day, and I was holding my young infant daughter in my arms, looking into her eyes, sitting out on the back porch, hearing the birds sing, and it just brought tears to my eyes, thinking about all the parents that have lost their children on Father's Day or Mother's Day who have to then think about that. Parents should never have to bury their own children. And that's why on Father's Day, I want to reach out to the parents of the slain children at the horrible tragedy in Newtown, Connecticut, and give you my sincere condolences. I'd also like to reach out to any of the parents who lost a child at Newtown to invite them to contact me to open a dialogue, because I think it's really essential we do that instead of letting the MSM misrepresent things and really try to drive this nation apart. Right now is a time for unity and peace in our country, I think now more than ever.
He is right, although in that one, I don't blame the mainstream media for Newtown. I mean, they are sensationalizing asses, but in that one, look, it happened, and it's kind of their job to report it.
I think he's talking more about how the mainstream media is portraying his comments.
Probably.
Yeah.
You probably right. Okay, Dustin, so, in that one, he was wrong, and he admitted it.
Yeah, he has come out and retracted a lot of his thoughts on that. But I called in last week before the interview, and my reason for calling is they're going to, here's my thought anyway, they're going to try to spin this. They're going to tie Trump and Alex Jones together. They're going to try to do that to discredit everything that Trump's doing. That's exactly why, if you watch the entire interview, they keep interjecting that how Trump called in and talked with Alex, so on and so forth. Alex has admitted that Trump has called him a few times. They are tying Trump in with Alex Jones's beliefs. That's
Maybe.
exactly what they're doing.
But they did the same thing to Barack Obama and Jeremiah Wright. You know, when Jeremiah Wright was a preacher, kind of radical, he said some anti-white shit, and I think he presided over Obama's wedding, and I think he was the main preacher in Obama's church, and they went after him for that. And back then, I didn't give a shit either. I don't care who the president's friends with. They all have scummy friends, and some of them have good friends, and they all have questionable friends, and they all have crazy friends. So I don't care who the president talks to be honest with you.
And I think Trump appeared in one of Alex Jones's videos.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I was reading the article about her this morning.
Thank you very much, Dustin. Appreciate it, okay?
All right, man. Thanks.
But before you go, did you think Alex Jones came off good or bad in the interview?
I think that they chopped it up really, to an extreme measure. But from what she showed, he looked like an ass.
Okay. I haven't, but he posted all the audio, I'm sure. So, his version is out there, which is great.
Correct.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
It also said that NBC was constantly re-editing it all week.
Yeah, they said that's standard, but I don't know. I've never hosted like an interview. I mean, the interview should got edited. I always hate it whenever I interview people, and I know I'm not Megyn Kelly, but I always hate editing people's words. And it's like, I know you have to a little bit, but the full version should be online.
Yeah.
Like, especially now. In the last 15 years, you've had the ability to, or 20 years, you've had the ability to put the entire thing online, so just do that.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll say, for the full interview, go to so-and-so.com.
Which is fair.
Yeah.
And more importantly, like when Chip Chipperson does an interview on the podcast,
Right.
The entire thing is shown. Right. There's no edits.
No.
Because a lot of times Chip wants things edited, and the new one is up today.
Oh.
And it's a real hit.
So you're saying sometimes it works the opposite way, where people would rather less.
No, I wouldn't go that far. But you know what? Actually, you're probably right. Chip would not agree.
Yeah.
But he wants, a lot of times he wants things cut, and they wind up not cutting them just for the sake of integrity.
I saw this one's like 50 minutes.
This one was a little longer.
We're really getting up there.
Yeah, normally that's not a normal thing.
Not a bad thing, though.
No, well, it was with a delightful trans ex-porn star now. First in-studio guest, and Ant and Lauren. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a funny episode.
You think so?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so Julius Caesar got interrupted again. Can we fucking stop interrupting plays and public performances? I tweeted that yesterday. I said, if you interrupt a play for any reason because you don't like the message, you're a cunt. And I meant it. I thought, people are cunts if they interrupt public performances. And of course people have to respond. What about the liberal? You're right. They suck too. When they're shouting down Ann Coulter, or they don't want Milo to speak, or they don't want people to speak, they suck too. It's just rude.
Did they do it again yesterday?
They did it again yesterday. Yeah. I think it was the final one. Do we have video of this one too?
Are those shows in Central, are they free or do you have to buy tickets?
I honestly don't know. But I know that would influence your decision.
I'm not sure. It's Shakespeare in the Park, though, right?
Yeah.
It
I
is.
think it's free, but it's ticketed?
Yeah.
I'm not 100%.
I'm not a Shakespeare guy.
No, me neither. But I just think the rudeness of interrupting this play. I don't care what you think. And because of the shooting, because some asshole picks up a gun and shoots people, they're like, it causes that. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Mental illness causes that guy to pick up a gun and shoot Republicans.
And did you see what Caitlyn Jenner said? She commented on the shooting by saying liberals can't even shoot straight.
Yeah, but in a way, they took this the delightful Caitlyn out of context because she was saying how grateful she was that more people weren't hurt or that they weren't killed. I think she was doing it telling like, thank God liberals can't even shoot straight.
Right.
And then I've seen people make the point and say, you don't have to be a liberal, but those really are the only people sticking up for Caitlyn Jenner. Are liberals.
Right.
It ain't the conservatives that are fucking going to bat for her. She happen to have she has the money to do what she wants. But it's not the conservatives going to bat for Caitlyn in the majority of the cases.
No.
So you don't have to like liberals, but they are the ones kind of sticking up for you.
And they played that game, that charity game that night.
What was the game?
The Republicans and the Democrats, the baseball game. It's a charity
They still played
game.
it?
Yeah.
Who won?
Democrats.
There was no justice.
It killed them, too. It was like 11-3.
Did they really?
Dennis,
I didn't mean to use killed them, but that's just a sports term. You know that.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
But it was a rout.
Yeah, they trounced them.
They did.
Yes.
Wow, you think they would have took it easy?
Yeah, took them to the woodshed.
Yeah, it's funny. They didn't sit their best players. It's funny. They make little kids do that so that the other team doesn't feel bad. There's a shooting on that team and they don't take it easy on them?
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah, I was surprised the game went on, but the game did go on.
Well, I guess they said this is what he would have wanted.
Yeah.
And he's in the hospital going, no, I wouldn't. Wait. Fucking assholes.
I wanted to play.
Let's see the oh, it's so funny. Protesters disrupt liberal Trump assassination fetish play. People are just
He didn't
morons.
just yell. He bum rushed the stage.
They're just dopes. That's who we are.
Yeah.
That's who we are. We yell at the things we don't like. If it's a Trump assassination thing, we say, well, it causes violence. If it's a rape joke, people stand up and object because it causes... We just keep saying that other people's speech causes aggressive or shitty, mentally ill people to do things, and it's not true.
The guy was nuts. The guy was a sick person.
Yeah. Fucking sick puppy, right?
Sick.
Fuck yeah. So, what? I don't know, Denny. How do you feel about this?
These guys are nuts. I mean, the Broadway, the show there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't see. I mean, you don't portray shooting the president, and then it goes back to, well, what if it was Obama?
That's point two.
This is the same thing with the decapitation. What's her name?
Of Kathy Griffin.
Yeah.
They're showing vicious images of Trump's assassination and murder, which they would not have done with another president.
No.
But I think if it's in, especially in a Julius Caesar play, it's not about a monarch or as stupid as I am, I've never read it or seen it.
Right.
But that's about Caesar being killed.
Yes.
So, I mean, it kind of makes sense that he's Caesar.
Then kill Caesar, if that's the play.
Well, I mean, if you're making it modern, I don't mind that. And I wouldn't mind if they did it with Obama. I wouldn't mind. I mean, don't forget, they made a movie about JFK's assassination.
Yes.
I mean, they've portrayed presidents being killed before. We act like this has never happened before.
Right.
So,
Yeah, but the JFK movie, the Oliver Stone movie you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, I'm talking other movies too, but...
There's been quite a number of them. But the thing that I still never understand about the whole JFK thing, where they say there were files that are still locked away about the whole thing that will still not be opened for another 50 years. Why?
I don't know.
Why?
It's really annoying, and it's the government kind of deserves the big dick of public opinion it takes in the ass because they're secretive unnecessarily. What the fuck are you being secretive about stuff with There's nothing more secure. This is for national security,
right?
But there's nothing that you're going to reveal that is going to make the nation worse than the suspicion they have of the government already.
Right, but they say, I think one of the terms was they wanted to wait until all the people involved are gone.
Fuck them.
Yeah.
I don't care about their involvement. It was like Jackie Kennedy donated the dress she wore.
Right.
With the caveat that it doesn't get seen by the public for over 150 years. I think 100 years. Why? Why? What the fuck are you doing? In 100 years, people get to see that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Did you get a chance to read Roger Stone's book?
I did not. How is it?
I didn't read it. He said he was going to send you one, so I didn't know if you had a chance to check it out. But he was very...
he did not send it.
Pro-conspiracy JFK shooting.
Yeah, he did not send it.
One of the other angles where you ever see a book called Mafia Kingfish?
No.
About Carlos Marcello. He ran the mob in New Orleans, and they said that he was behind that because in the middle of the night, Bobby Kennedy deported him to South America, and evidently he was known to say, to kill a dog, you don't cut off its tail, you cut off its head, meaning let's go after the brother. So then they kind of tied things in with him and a mafia.
Maybe. I mean, I've never...
Yeah.
You know, the other angles of the shooting, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean videos. There's the Knicks film. There's another one. I don't remember the name of it. I think there's 3.
Yeah.
2 plus the Zapruder film. But I'm not a conspiracy guy.
And the whole, the Zapruder film, and they say a lot of people in there mysteriously died after.
I've heard that, but I've also heard that was a myth. And they didn't. I've heard both.
Yeah.
Are you a conspiracy guy? Sounds like it.
No, I don't think I'm a conspiracy guy, but, you want to know the truth.
Yeah.
You want to know the truth.
What were you doing when that happened?
I was in school. I was in Catholic school, and it was in the first grade. And when they shot him, the nun said, "Your friend has been shot." They used to call him, because he was Catholic, so they always used to call the president your friend.
Ah.
And then they sent us home. And, went home in the afternoon, and then for the next couple of days, there was nothing to watch on TV. There was no cartoon shows.
Oh, yeah, we did talk about this. I remember us discussing this because I remember you made the point about as a kid there was
nothing else on.
There was no cartoon shows.
No Rocky and Bullwinkle. No Mighty Mouse.
So you basically grieved with the rest of the nation.
Yeah, no Three Stooges.
You would rather watch that stuff?
Dad, change your channel. Shut up. There's nothing on. We're going to watch this. Nobody, that was a big thing. I mean, it was stop the world.
Yeah.
Just stop the world.
You weren't interested?
Well, I wanted to watch cartoons. I wanted to watch The Little Rascals.
It'd be so funny if you were 17 when that happened. That's how you felt.
Well, I was 5 years old, after a while. It's not like today. I mean, even with all the car accident last night in London.
Well, was it an accident? I said it was on purpose.
It was on purpose. I mean, drove into a mosque.
White guy. Yeah. Did he kill anyone or just...
No, I think quite a number of people died, right?
One.
Was it just one?
Just one.
I thought it was... 10 I was reading the other one. Van hits at least 1 dead, 8 hurt. Yes.
10 now.
It's up to 10 hurt or 10 dead?
Hurt.
So no more people died?
No.
Okay. So it went up on hurt.
Yeah.
We're
really reiterating a point that's very simple.
Right. Okay. I was just trying to figure out this math stuff.
Yeah.
But
I like your
headphones. I'm not good with math. Yeah, we always talk about that.
I know. They look good.
Things. I like these things.
Nice heavy jokers.
Yes. Nice and heavy, strong neck muscles.
You like that?
Yes, I do.
Makes you feel like you're broadcasting.
Yes, I do. Yes.
So, okay, what's the details on this case last night?
Let me see. Another Muslims were the target. At least one person died, like Travis just said. 8 people, Travis. And one person was arrested after a major incident occurred near the Finsbury Park Mosque. So somebody just... another terrible accident. Boy, it just...
Well, it wasn't an accident. That was on purpose.
Well, yeah. I mean, the Tourism Council for England, boy, has probably
got to be
way
fucking
down.
smelling.
Yeah.
By the way, this Julius Caesar play, is this true? In Obama-type leader assassinated in 2012. No outrage whatsoever. Trump-type leader assassinated. People lose their minds. Did we have a black leader assassinated in 2012 in that play?
Maybe
well, if there's a meme, it must be true.
No, that's why I'm asking.
Right? Yeah, it's on the internet.
Yeah,
so
I don't know.
You got to believe it. I never heard that.
I don't know if it's true.
I think that would have made...
Maybe it did and we don't remember.
Raise some eyebrows.
What, 6 years? 7 years?
Yeah. Was it 5 years ago?
5 years? Yep.
5.
Yes, you were off.
Trying to do that math thing, Dennis.
I used to go to
Talked about it
I
last
went to summer school every year for math.
Did you?
Every summer.
Well, why were you bad at it?
I'm not
Are you
good-
dyslexic?
I'm not good with analytical stuff and timing and addition and things like
Someone's
that.
calling in with this too. Okay, Brian in New York. Hello.
Hey, Yimmy and Denny. How are ya?
How are you?
Good morning, Brian.
Good, guys. So back in 2012, this same production company actually had toured it for a while beforehand, and Obama was the depiction of Julius Caesar.
So he was the leader who was assassinated. Yeah. So again, I didn't know that, but cool.
And nothing is being covered. Like,
Meaning cool, like they've done this before with the president.
yeah, it's literally just to show that power struggle that the Romans had back in the day, that this one person was controlling the whole situation. They're taking it way out of proportion, and because it's in New York City, I guess they decide to, run the state.
Well, I have no problem with it. Thank you for the call, Brian. I have no problem with it because I don't mind them modernizing it anyway and making it the active president. So they already did it with Obama. So fuck, anyway, even if they didn't do it with Obama, if you've interrupted a live performance because you didn't like the message, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You're
Don't-
shitty.
Don't go see the show.
Don't see the show. But, it's just, again, there's no sincerity in any of it. It's just a bunch of assholes yelling at each other because we want to be right. Everyone's like, why are the kids such spoiled twats? Because the adults are. That's why.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you think the children are so shitty in this country and so fucking entitled? Because the adults are.
Oh, without a doubt.
The adults are yelling at each other. I'm right. I'll interrupt your play. I'll interrupt your show. Everybody wants their opinion heard and nobody else's. We should all go fuck ourselves. Denny, I'm yelling.
Yes, I know.
I don't know why.
I don't know. You're just very outraged this morning.
I wouldn't say outraged, just irritated.
Well, parents, I mean, you look at kids and you see why they're running around like maniacs, and the parents are just, like you said, they're just yelling and drinking and carrying on. And, the kids don't want to. They're role models.
Yep. Bunch of boobs, Denny.
Bunch of boobs.
So were you a fan of Animal House?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, he'd passed away.
Founder.
Yeah, Stephen First.
What did he die of? It was diabetes?
What did he say? Yeah, complications of diabetes on Friday.
Do you have any illnesses, Denny? Is there anything wrong with you?
No, I'm good, thank you.
You are good.
Yeah. Just went back from the doctors, had my full physical, and everything's good.
No cancer, no nothing?
No cancer.
They do the finger?
What's that? Yeah, he did that.
He goes once a month.
Yeah. Did you get a rod?
What's that? No. And have you gone for a colonoscopy yet? Have you done that?
Colonoscopy. Yes, I have. I did. I've gotten the test. I want to go back for a full physical blood work just to do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've gone for it.
I have to go for another one.
Why?
I don't know. I went 8 years ago.
Oh, geez.
And the doctor goes, "Do you remember who did it?" I go, "Yeah, it was a doctor." I said, "Who do I know? I don't remember."
You're not
what
looking
the
at him when he
doctor's
does it.
name- Well, yeah, exactly. I said, I went to Home Depot. And I said, "No." I said, "Goes, you have to go back."
How old are you now?
59.
Oh, you were 51 when you
Yes,
did.
I'll be 60. And then you also have to take the what's that other shot for shingles?
AZT? Oh,
No,
wait, you have to
shingles.
take it when you're...
You have to either 60.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? I didn't know that.
That's when they say you have to anytime from like 55 and up. But then the doctor said 60.
Do old people get shingles?
I guess so.
From what?
I don't know. They said that the germ is still in your body from what? Chicken pox or measles or
I never had
German
chicken pox.
measles? No, you have mumps.
Nope.
Never had any of those?
No.
German measles.
No. What's the German? Is that chicken pox?
Yeah. Well, that's a measles. Do you ever have scarlet fever?
No.
Oh, that's good.
No. Have you had those?
No.
You had chicken pox?
I had them all.
Mumps?
I think I had mumps.
You had the mumps?
I had the
That's
mumps.
hilarious.
I think I had
That's what you look like with those headphones.
the mumps.
Like you got the fucking mumps.
Yeah, at least I didn't have leprosy.
No, I mean, that's always something to be grateful for. How'd you know it was dry leprosy? It's not contagious. I didn't. You ever see Papillon?
Yes.
When he smokes the cigar of the leper?
Yes. That was a great movie.
You know, it wasn't contagious.
I'm still here, you bastards, when he's under the grate, yelling up to the guards.
Oh, yeah.
Just keep yelling up to them. I'm still here.
I haven't seen that in so many years. That was a true story, right?
Yeah. It's a great movie.
And it was Hoffman and Steve McQueen.
Yeah.
And one of them escaped. The Dustin Hoffman did not escape.
No, he was making the vegetables. He had his garden, remember?
That's right. And
His garden.
he declined to escape.
Yeah, he didn't want to leave. And he left. Steve McQueen. That was a good movie.
He jumped off that cliff
Yeah.
and lived.
Did he jump off with the big sack so he could float or something? I think there was something.
He threw it off first.
Yeah, he threw it off first and then just jumped into the water.
Can we look up Papillon?
Papillon.
I want to see the real Papillon.
Yeah.
To get off on a weird fucking tangent this morning. What happened to the real Papillon?
There you go.
Not the dog breed. Pipill. Pappy. Illion.
Papillon. Those are Papillon.
Papillon.
Pappy.
Oh, he put what happened? Oh, okay.
What happened to
Papillon. Pappillon. I'm kind of curious. Oh, Papillon was the jail. Okay.
Okay.
Henry Cherie. What do you? Yeah.
I guess so.
He's 104. He's claiming to be Papillon. 104-year-old convicted killer has reopened debate over Papillon, the inmate of the notorious French prison in the Caribbean. He claims he was the real model. The book vividly describes the wretched existence of the criminals. It was published in '69, and who was? Oh, Henry Cherie was the author. It was supposedly his autobiography. But, well, they said Dustin Hoffman was a fellow escaper, but didn't he escape and then get caught again? Is that what it was?
I
don't remember. I haven't seen it in 20 years.
Time.
No, I don't know why I'm talking about it. I think we can get off Papillon. There's so much stuff that happened in the real world.
Yes.
Rest in peace. Excuse me. Stephen first. Matt Hughes, UFC legend, had a bad car accident over the weekend. Oh. He was a former welterweight champion.
Yeah.
2-time champion. And I don't know what happened, but he was crossing the railroad tracks, and his fucking truck got hit.
Ooh.
By a train, passenger side. So I'm assuming he was driving.
Yeah, but he must have passed the gate that goes down.
Don't know. Maybe again, he's an alpha guy. Maybe he's like, fuck it, I can make it. You know,
it's all of a sudden you're driving across. You go, oh, a train. I mean, you get There has been a lot more deaths because I take the Long Island Railroad, and more people have jumped in front of trains and gotten hit by cars in the past year. And the people in Penn Station are so compassionate. It's like, why do you do it now? Why could he do it on the overnight?
They are, yeah. They're very angry when it happens.
Well, next time he plans a suicide, we'll have to consider that.
Yeah, this was, I don't think, a suicide attempt. This, I think, was just literally, he probably fucked up and just either, I don't know how you don't see a train.
Exactly.
Unless the things didn't come down. But they said he got struck. I think he probably thought he could have made it.
Right. Zip around.
And the guy, you have to look at it for them, and I could be totally off. Ex-fighter. Those guys love adrenaline.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, now that you're not fighting anymore, you see a train, you're like, fuck it, I can make it,
I could do it.
Regular non-fighters do that. So that's just me guessing. Maybe he did that. I don't know the details, but hopefully he'll be okay. He's a real legend in the sport, and they said he's not awake, but he is. They said there's no broken bones and no internal bleeding. So hopefully he'll be okay. And this guy that died, let me see. Tim Hague. He was a UFC fighter turned boxer, and he dies. Anyone that thinks that boxing is not as dangerous, UFC is more dangerous than boxing. I don't believe you had any UFC fighters die in the ring. I don't think you have. But this is one of many boxers who has died from brain hemorrhages because they're getting hit so much in the head, much more than a UFC fighter. So he's a former UFC fighter known as the Thrashing Machine, died Sunday, 2 days after he was critically injured. He had knocked out against former Edmonton Eskimos defensive end, Adam Braidwood. Very sad. These guys, it's a rough sport, man.
And the football player became a boxer? Or was
no, UFC fighter.
No.
Oh, the other one, I guess so.
Yeah. Was it just an exhibition bout?
I don't know.
Like when Rocky?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you're going to put a former UFC fighter against a guy in an exhibition.
Right, so it wasn't like Rocky and Hulk Hogan.
No. Did you watch the box? No. Thunderlips in the flesh, baby.
We'll get some pictures after this.
Did you see the fight, the big fight? Oh God, I'm fucking Ward against
Ward Cleaver?
No, who just fought?
Kovalev?
Kovalev, yeah, Kovalev.
That was Anthony.
I bought the fight, and I didn't watch it because I had dinner with Mary Jean, who I hang out with a lot, and we do nothing sexual. Like we haven't even kissed. We literally just hang out. And she's like, "Oh, there was a fight tonight." I'm like, "Don't tell me who won." And she's like, "Oh, okay." The Spanish guy won. She's like, "Oh, I misunderstood you." I'm like, "You said the polar opposite. I asked you not to tell me who won." So I didn't even watch the fight, but I heard it was a TKO. Did anybody know anything in the details?
No.
No.
Can we bring him up?
No. Apparently he got fucked.
What's that?
Anthony
Apparently
says someone
Kovalev
got fucked.
How?
They said he won the fight, but he lost the decision. I don't know how that's possible.
Can you tell me on the mic who lost?
They said Kovalev won the fight, but he lost by points or something crazy. Like, Ward did not deserve to win that fight. And I just don't know any of the details because I only
who
saw,
got
like,
knocked
the later
out?
rounds.
Kovalev got stopped, right?
I believe it was stopped, but Ward wasn't. Ward should not have won the fight.
Well, did the fight get stopped on a TKO?
Again, I don't.
Did you watch the fight?
No, you didn't watch it.
Ward stopped Kovalev in the 8th round to retain his title. So how is that not fair? How is that not fair? It's the second time he's beaten him.
I'm just going off of what people told me that he got fucked.
No, I know, but your outrage was pretty.
Yeah, a lot of outrage.
Pretty
Because I bet Kovalev.
You had very first person outrage there.
Was this a pay-per-view fight?
It was, yeah.
Oh.
I don't even know how much it was.
No.
Are they saying? Oh, wait, okay. Referee Tony Weeks, Andre Ward stopped Kovalev with a masterful performance. He finished his opponent with 3 light blows, low blows. Oh, he finished it with 3 low blows. Tony Weeks took no action as Ward, who had Kovalev on wobbly legs, and from that thumping hook proceeded to back his foe up on the ropes and land once, twice, thrice under the midsection. It was a poor end as Weeks should have stopped Ward and taken a point, but Kovalev should have been given time to recover. In my view, Ward has taken over the fight, and Kovalev had seemingly had enough, but the end will be debated. Oh, okay. And the fight before that, they got wrong. The guy threw the final punch after the bell, and it was a knockout, and nobody knew what they were doing in that situation.
They don't have instant replay? They don't use that?
I don't know if they do or not.
Boxing?
I'm not sure.
I think they do because the article I'm reading says that given that Weeks, who was the referee, chose not to have instant replay done to review the final 3 punches that Ward threw, it's likely the results will stand.
What kind of fucking asshole referee doesn't want the final 3 punches? I'm sorry, people hate when I bash boxing. It stinks. It stinks.
Weeks felt confident that the 3 punches Ward threw were on the belt line and not low. The replay tells a different story. It showed what appeared to be 3 low blows.
Do you still follow boxing?
No, I didn't even know who fought. I mean, I knew it was Ward.
Yeah, but you were a boxing. You know a lot about boxing from when you would talk about some of the classic fights and things like that.
I used to love it.
Yeah,
but I just don't like it anymore. I think it's just such a corrupt sport, and they make you wait for everything, and there's always this way too much pomp and circumstance before I just can't stand it. The athletes themselves fighting, I respect a lot, and I enjoy that. I'm going to watch McGregor Mayweather, which has been announced. I mean, that's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. Was
but
it
it's
Vegas?
more everything around the fighters.
Is it Vegas, that fight?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to a fight in Vegas?
UFC, sure, a bunch.
Yeah.
Someone's going to explain the fight. Hi, Isaac in Kansas. How are you?
Hey, what's going on, Jim?
What are you going to explain?
Hey, man. Yeah, no, the fight was good. Ward looked a lot better during the fight, but the round before they stopped the fight, he got called for a low blow. Then he got caught. Ward hit him with a good right hand and stunned Kovalev, but then he hit him with that low blow, which the ref said it wasn't, and then hit him with 2 more low blows.
And the fucking douchebag referee wouldn't look at replay? What a fucking cocksucker. Like, what a fucking, like, he's so sure that he's right. The referee doesn't want the embarrassment of being wrong. That's all that is. The ref does not want the embarrassment that he made a mistake. What a cocksucker.
And actually, before that, Kovalev even stopped fighting for a second and said, hey, he hit me with the low blow, and the referee said, hey, don't stop fighting, like, keep fighting.
Well, that's the way it is in UFC, too. You cannot tell the ref. The ref has to stop it. They say always defend yourself at all times. So you have to continue fighting until the ref stops it. That's with both sports.
Right. But even Ward stopped fighting because he knew he hit him low.
Well, the piece of shit referee wouldn't look at the replay. If that's the case, I mean, that's bad officiating.
Right.
And if they have instant replay...
Remember...
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I said, what you remember in the first fight, everybody says that Kovalev won the fight, but he lost on the decision.
Yeah, I've heard that, too. I didn't see the first fight. And after, Mary Jean announced the results.
Now, does that play into your conspiracy stuff?
No.
When it's crooked?
Could there be?
Because he didn't want to look at the...
I don't know. It could be possible. But again, one guy being corrupt as a referee is not... But I'm not going to say the guy's corrupt. He probably might just be a pompous asshole who thinks he saw something and didn't.
I don't
It was
need
like the
video.
commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
They were interviewing the Nevada State Athletic Commissioner, boss or whatever, the head of it, after the fight, the co-main event, because there was a fight after the bell. And I think HBO's people gave him the wrong information. HBO's people in his headset said it was definitely thrown before the bell. So he came on and went, no, that was definitely thrown before the bell.
No, that's not the way it worked, Jim.
It did work that way. I'm telling you, when they interviewed Jim.
No, you got right, but you got the story about it wrong. The commissioner said he talked to his people, and his people said that it was before the bell. Yet HBO, Max Kellerman came on and said, no. Our people in the truck, my main authority, everybody we know, replay everybody, said it was clearly after the bell.
I know. I remember that.
Commissioner said.
I remember Max Kellerman saying that. But the commissioner came back on after that, and Jim Lampley apologized in case HBO gave him the wrong information. Remember, Jim Lampley apologized to him.
Yeah, you're right.
So that whatever it was, it doesn't matter where he heard it from, but he gave two totally different versions. He didn't know, but again,
you could clearly see it was after the bell. I mean, he should have looked at the replay himself.
They were in the dressing room. Yeah, dude, it couldn't have been more after the bell. And he looked at the replay, but he had a little earbud in, and he kept saying he couldn't hear the bell. I can't hear the bell.
Oh, you could tell. The guy was slimy. You could just tell.
Yeah, I think that boxing, the hierarchy of boxing stinks. It really is fucking horrendous. The boxers themselves are different. I mean, I'm not criticizing those guys. Thanks, Isaac.
Well, no.
Okay, good. What do you want to say? I didn't hang up on you. You could have finished.
Didn't something Kellerman said last week ruffle some feathers? Didn't he do something last week?
I don't like
about
that expression.
Ruffle some feathers?
No. Yeah. Unless you kick a bird in its asshole.
Yeah.
Did he kick some people off? How about that?
Yeah, he was saying that the NFL injects politics into the game by playing the national anthem.
Oh, God.
Oh.
Stop it.
You don't agree with that?
No, I don't. It's stupid. It's a tradition.
It's in every sport.
It's in every sport. They do it before. Kellerman just wanted to be unique when he said that. But he's a good boxing guy. Like, I think he really does know a lot of what he's saying, but that's an asinine thing to say.
That's stupid.
I disagree.
You hear about what Michael Phelps is going to do?
What's he going to swim?
Yeah.
He's going to swim. He's going to race a shark.
For Shark Week, right?
For Shark Week, yeah. They have, how many movies do they keep making about sharks? New specials all the time. Isn't it like the same thing every year?
I don't know.
I don't give a fuck about sharks.
You don't watch Shark Week? No.
No.
Now, what's that? There's a movie out which is basically like
Oh,
Jaws.
is that? Yeah, it didn't do that well. It made like 11 million at the box office.
Sharknado?
No, not Sharknado.
Not it.
No, this was
Nemo?
Mandy Miller, I think. Is that who has this new movie?
I don't know.
47 meters deep. Can we try to look it up?
40 centimeters deep?
47.
Alina says?
Who's in it?
Oh.
Goldie Hawn?
No.
It's not Goldie Hawn?
No.
Yes, she was in that. What was the one that she was in when she was stranded on the boat? And then,
Wait, what do you?
yeah.
Hold on. 47 meters, not 40 centimeters deep. It's 47 meters
on.
down.
What do you want me to do? 40, yeah,
Mandy
40
Moore.
centimeters down
I said
wouldn't be
Mandy
that
Miller.
far.
We have TJ.
That would be like a foot.
It's a shark in a puddle on 48th Street.
It was the movie with Kurt Russell.
I'm stupid.
And
The Thing?
No, Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn.
Oh, Hateful
Shipwreck.
Eight.
Was it? What was it called?
All I know is that Travis thinks there's a shark 47
centimeters.
How many centimeters is a foot? How many feet is a centimeter? The centimeters are 47 centimeters down. How deep is that?
It was. Was it the same shark that Yosemite Sam hit the shark over
That
with
would
the
be
mallet?
15 inches.
15 inches?
Be a little more than a foot.
Remember that?
Wow, there's a shark 15 inches down.
Land shark.
Clear the streets.
Land shark.
Clear the puddle.
All right, so I'm not smart.
That was good. That was a good Saturday Night Live bit. Remember that one, Land Shark?
I do. That was very funny. When he knocks on the door.
Land Shark.
Got him every time.
Hope it's eat Gilda Radner.
It did.
So now, how is he going to race the shark?
I don't know.
In the water.
Yeah, but is he going to be in a tank?
Oh,
Like two different tanks? You can't be next to the shark.
I saw that headline and I skipped right past it.
You can't be next to the shark. He's going to have to be in a tank. You're welcome. And another tank.
Oh.
Right?
Wait, wait. He's
going to hit that.
Yeah,
he's going to be in a tank. And you didn't say you're welcome, Travi.
For what?
He's going to be in a tank.
Yeah.
And then you would say,
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Get it?
Travi, why didn't you read the story?
Travis.
Because it's stupid.
It's not. It's
Michael Phelps is
true.
going to race a shark. Cool. That's all I need to know.
You don't think that's good?
No.
You're not interested in that?
Not at all.
All right.
Nope.
You remember when Will Chamberlain? Who did he box that time?
I don't
He
remember.
went into the ring and he boxed somebody. Will Chamberlain.
No, I was born in 81.
Yeah.
I don't remember that either. And I was born in 68.
I was born 58.
Were you?
You're old.
Yeah. 19. You know what the number one song was when I was born?
I would love to know. What was it?
At the Hop by Danny and the Juniors. Do you know what the number one song was when you were born?
1968?
1968.
I don't know. A remake of At the Hop. What was it?
I don't know. You'd have to look that up. 1968. What week? What day were you born? What week?
July 19th, 1968.
A summertime baby.
Yes. Which means I was probably, an autumn fuck?
Conceived in, no, it's at 7 minus 2 is 9. Yeah, probably November. Like
Yeah.
Thanksgiving.
A good after dinner drunken Thanksgiving rogering.
Thanksgiving. Bring out the pie. I don't know when that was.
What's the-
I did not enjoy that photo you posted yesterday, by the way,
Which one?
of you and your family.
Oh my God, that was, my dad enjoyed that though. That was from,
Well, yeah, he looked fine.
yeah, he actually looked pretty normal. That was me and my family when I was, probably 15. You didn't think that was a good photo?
Nope. Well, I mean, of everyone. Everyone looked fine.
Yeah, my sister was very cute. My mom looked nice. My dad.
And just so weird.
I really look like I'm about to shoot John Lennon.
Is that your basement?
No, that was at I want to say might have been my grandmother's house, my dad's mother.
You got to love the paneling.
My dad looks irritated.
Well, yeah, look who he's sitting next to.
Yeah, it's a good point.
You look like your dad.
I have my hand on my sister's arm, real creepy. She's touching my leg and my mom's leg. Well, the Nortons were a very touchy-feely
Yes,
family.
And your
Weird
dad's
photo.
got his arm around you.
No, he's got it on the thing.
the
Yeah,
couch?
he wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
That's a reluctant photo he's taking.
it really is. He's probably. I don't want to acknowledge that these are my family members. Yeah, I vaguely remember that too. We might have been fighting at the time. Who knows? I was so. That was my real douche phase.
Mark David Chapman.
When's that going to end?
Hey, wait a minute now, Travis. It's a good point. Yeah, I really look creepy in that. I look really creepy in that picture.
That's the picture they later show after somebody went crazy in the supermarket.
Yeah, you can see the cowlicks. You see my hair though. That's why I keep my crew cut.
I like is that parted in the middle.
It's not parted in the middle. I couldn't do anything with it. Can you zoom in on that?
It looks like you
Look at you can save it.
like you had like the Mo Howard part in the middle there.
And then no, but it would cowlick in the middle. Like that's how bad my hair was. It would like a McDonald's, like parentheses.
Now, were those sunglasses or you wore glasses as a kid?
No, I had glasses. I don't know why they were tinted.
Yeah, that's why I thought they were sunglasses.
I thought they looked cool.
I think that was just like a thing back then, wasn't it?
It probably was, but that kind of dates the picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's not.
Where'd that go?
Where'd it go?
I don't know. You got to save it on. Just drag it on the desktop.
I thought I did.
These computers tough to figure out, aren't they?
It's up there,
There it is.
Where?
right up there.
Jim Norton, kid large.
Yeah, you gotta change it from a JPEG large to a JPEG. Just right
Look at that hair.
Wow, there's a whole lot of stuff to do here.
when you save a photo on Twitter. Yeah.
Really?
The top song when you were born, by the way, was "This Guy's in Love with You" by Herb Alpert.
Oh, Herb
How
Alpert.
appropriate.
Yeah. And that was the first time that he sang on a record because everything else was instrumental. Did you know?
Wow, look at that. My thin ass eyebrows.
Look at the eyes.
My fucking pouty lips. Look at that stupid hair. I look like Joyce DeWitt from Three's Company. Fucking Janet. I have hair like Janet. What a creep.
That was like the Elvis sunglasses, right? Put a picture of Elvis with
They
the
were.
sunglasses. Just look like that.
Yeah, he looks cool.
Yeah.
You think so, Travis?
I do.
I
Yeah.
think you look cool too.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. I know my sister looks all happy.
Expressionless face. Elvis sunglasses.
Yep.
It really is. It really is like the zoom in on someone who wound up biting a person's fucking teeth out or eyes out. Like good improv, Jim.
Yeah,
biting
like-
their teeth out.
No
Boo.
one is surprised that kid did something.
No. No one is surprised. You look at that, you go, yeah, of course. Why didn't they abort that thing? His dumb glasses.
When was that?
I'm going to guess 1983.
Wow.
Around there, 84.
Yeah, see, look at those sunglasses. Exactly.
So you were like 16-ish?
The king was wearing.
Yeah, 15 or 16. Someone is saying Dennis does this. Mike in Toronto.
How you doing, guys? Good morning.
Good, buddy.
No, I don't want to be mean to Dennis.
Yeah, I understand.
First of all, Dennis, they were talking about a fucking shark horror film, and you brought up Overboard with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
That's what it was. Thank you.
That was not.
It's a fucking rom-com. It's got nothing to do with sharks.
Okay, but she was on a boat.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, that was Amistad.
Yeah,
Goldie Hawn and Amistad.
Right. Quint was on a boat too, and a shark ate him. In Jaws.
At least that had a shark in it.
Well, but she was on a boat, and then the water could have been a shark. That's what I was trying to make a correlation.
Bring it back to music, Dennis.
I was just going fishing.
Yeah, no, but somebody said that you start conversation. He's saying you start conversation. Why do you mean Dennis doesn't finish them? Why do you say that?
I don't know. He even said something about who was the guy that he boxed, and he was trying to bring it back to a year just so he could come up with the fucking song. It just sounds like if he can't bring it back to music, he's starting a conversation that he wants somebody else to finish. Sorry, Dennis. I don't want to be mean, but that...
Denny, is that true?
Come on.
I don't know what he's talking about.
All right, sir.
I don't know.
Dennis disagrees aggressively.
Just chitting and chatting here.
That's all we're doing.
That's all we're doing.
Just chit-chatting.
Just kicking it around.
Nice and relaxed.
Yeah.
We have a guest coming in.
Who's coming in today?
TJ Miller is going to come in from 9 to 11 and hang with us.
Oh, nice. He has that special on
He does on HBO, yeah. HBO's doing a good job with their specials. It's called Meticulously Ridiculous. You could see it now on HBO Go on demand. And it's TJ Miller does not have a website.com is his website.
Right.
And not TJ Miller on Twitter. And I've heard the special is very, very good.
Yeah, it came out last night.
Oh, it was last night? Literally just.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, but I took a picture for TJ. I don't know if I sent it to him or if I tweeted it. It's I probably tweeted it because I didn't have his number.
The billboard in Times Square.
Giant, right?
Yeah.
They really are going all out.
Nice big billboard there in Times Square.
It's hard not to want to do an HBO special.
They do that for Comedy Central, too. You see those flashing billboards? I was walking up one morning, I saw one for Mark Norman, and his was on there, too.
Good.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I know HBO did Gerard Carmichael. And again, he has a show, and TJ's a pretty big movie star now. Yeah. But they do a great job promoting their specials.
They do.
Lately. It's nice.
It's because they don't want to lose to everything else that's going on online. Where you can pick
Netflix is
things
just
up.
a fucking juggernaut.
Unbelievable.
I heard people at Comedy Central are very annoyed.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm going out to do Comedy on Comedy Central this week. I'm going out to tape called This Is Not Happening. It was Ari Shafir's show, and it's now Roy Wood Jr. who is doing it. But I tape on Thursday night. I tweeted the link for tickets if you want to come see my story. I actually have a pretty funny story I'm telling.
Where is it?
It's on Sunset Boulevard. Oh, no, it's in Hollywood at a place called Cheetahs. It's a bar. It's not a comedy club, which kind of
sounds like a
worries
strip
me.
joint, Cheetahs.
Is it?
A strip joint.
I don't know. What the fuck is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a strip joint, Cheetahs.
Is it?
Think so.
God damn it. Maybe it is. Why am I taping in a strip joint?
Cheetahs, 4600 Hollywood Boulevard.
Is that what I tweeted last night? I'll check my Twitter.
Yeah, that's what the link on the blacklist is.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think that's where they're filming it. Like, the blacklist website for tickets has it up, June 4 to 22.
Go back. There it is.
Yeah, that's just where it's filmed.
Yeah, look at that.
What a weird place to film a...
That was like the nightclub where Bob Cranes sat in and played the drums.
For what?
What was that movie about Bob Cranes?
Overboard.
Yeah. No, it wasn't Overboard.
Jaws.
It was he was playing the drums.
4 inches under the water?
Because he was into
the movie about the submarine accident?
He was into the whole sex thing.
You don't remember?
I don't remember the name of the movie. But just reminded me that because he was in Los Angeles at a strip joint.
It's a full bikini thing?
Oh, yeah, that's a big LA thing for some reason.
What the fuck? A bunch of bikini girls eat me.
There's a place called Jumbo's Clown Room out there that's like a dive bar, but it's a strip club, but they all wear bikinis.
Oh, maybe you don't need the same level of... Maybe you don't get in trouble for bikinis?
I think if you serve alcohol, you need to be clothed there.
You can't show your tits?
I don't think so. Because I think all the good full nude strip clubs are all dry in LA.
Can you bring your own booze?
Well, it says bottle service. So does that mean you bring your own?
I don't
No,
know.
that means that they offer bottle service. Bringing your own would be BYOB.
Yeah, but if they look like they're clothed, Denny. So it's not full nude.
Yeah, but I see it says lap
Yeah.
dances.
You can still get a lap dance in a bikini.
Yeah. You ever get a lap dance?
Not in a bikini.
You've gotten a nude one.
Yeah. I was wearing the bikini.
Oh, dad. So where were you when you got it?
No, I never got a lap dance.
Why?
I'm
He's
not
lying.
into that stuff. I never got a lap dance.
Do you want one?
You have.
What's that?
We should get you one.
Yeah, we should definitely get him one.
No,
Yes.
I'm okay.
Why not just try it, see if you like it?
No, I'm sure I would, but I don't need to try it.
So how's, we're going to take a break soon. Is food on the way?
Not yet.
Anthony, did you go get
Did
the
they
food?
call for it?
Yeah, Roland said he was going to call early.
Okay, cool.
So
We're trying to do different breaks, like right before, right after, because I want to be back when TJ comes on.
Yeah.
yeah, we'll be fine.
No, I hope so.
We retweeted the link for tickets, by the way.
You did. Thank you very much. But anyway, if you're out in LA and you want to see me on, someone is saying, okay,
Louis
Dan-
Anderson's doing it on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you Louis' story is great. Let's see here. Someone's going to talk about it. Dan in Florida. What's up, buddy?
Yeah. Hey guys, I've seen the show in Taped in Cheetahs. It's actually not that bad. It's got because it's got a center stage, and you're kind of sat in the round, so there's people sitting all around you as you tell your story. The backlighting's kind of nice because it's like the weird strip club kind of scene. It's just the scene that they set for the show. It's not like you're being taped in a active strip club.
Oh no, I know. I'm sure it's fine.
And we should definitely get Go-Go Harder in there to give a lap dance to Denny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Denny would. Well, he's using the name. No, what names is he using? I don't remember his real name. Is it Chris something?
Yeah. Chris Harder. I think.
Chris Harder. Yeah. Thank you very much, Dan. Would you let a man give you a lap dance?
No, of course not.
Oh, fair enough. How about a transgender woman?
So much
No.
disgust at his face when you asked that.
I know.
I wouldn't do that stuff.
How about a traditional woman?
A woman, yeah.
A woman. Okay, cool.
How about someone who identifies as a woman?
No,
Yes.
no, you have to be 100% woman.
Okay, so no penis.
WOMAN, woman, all the way through.
Would you like Caitlyn to give you one?
Who?
Caitlyn Jenner?
No.
She has a vagina now.
No, but she was a big woman. She would probably hurt.
All right.
You're transphobic,
Hurt.
Denny?
Big woman.
Yes, and I think he's just the opposite transphobic. I think Denny's a tranny chaser.
You think he's worried?
Yes.
His real feelings are going to come out.
I think Denny is worried that the front of his pants are going to give him away.
Were you here last week when that comedian was here, the British guy who dresses up in women's clothes?
Eddie is.
Eddie is. I saw him. I would
Yeah.
love to interview. I've only met Eddie once. I think he's really great.
Yeah, he was here last week.
Travis, you like him, right?
Yeah,
Did you
I got
get to
a
meet
photo-
him?
Yeah, I got a photo with him. He's
Yeah.
super nice.
Yeah, he is. I don't know why he wouldn't do our show.
He was just doing the town hall.
Oh, okay.
He didn't do anything else.
I would love to have talked to him. Who do we have this week? We have.
We got a lot of people.
Okay, I know tomorrow we have Mark Maron.
Mark Maron, Tom Papa, and Allison Brie tomorrow.
Okay, what I got to do is I got to watch his show. Have you seen it?
Who's?
Maron's. I hear it's very good.
What show?
He's promoting a show on Netflix.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it. Yeah, that's what they're both promoting. No,
we
I
have a
I
link to
not
it.
seen
He's got a pretty big podcast from what I hear.
Yes, Dennis.
I haven't heard it.
Yeah.
Is it good?
I don't know. I never listen to a podcast.
You never listen to a
Never
podcast?
listened to a
Joe
podcast.
Rogan or anything?
No.
Chip Chipperson?
I'm sorry, I'll have to start. I don't know. I just
How do you not listen to Chip
I don't
Chipperson? The
know.
man is entertaining people all over the world.
I like to listen to the radio. I like to play the radio and listen to
You
that.
should have
a lot.
Dennis do Chip's podcast.
I'm going to ask Dennis to do Chip's podcast.
I would do that.
Would you do it?
Sure, why
I'm
not?
sure you'd be very popular.
Then I would listen to a podcast
Yeah.
because I would be on that podcast.
Okay.
That would be nice. Oh, did you guys have Larry the Cable Guy last week?
No, we did not. He did a town hall.
Yeah, he
with
did
Jim
too.
Brewer.
Yeah, Brewer was up here. You know, like Larry was in Cars 3.
Yeah, it's a big movie, man. It knocked Wonder Woman out of the top spot.
53 million this past week.
Have you seen the first two?
No, I don't see cartoon movies.
I don't either.
Do you see cartoon movies?
Yeah, I've seen them all.
Yeah,
Well, Travis has a daughter.
he still doesn't.
Yeah, but I like them on my own.
Oh, okay.
Pixar movies are good movies.
Um,
Except Cars 2, that sucked.
Cars 2?
That was terrible.
Why?
It just was uninspired and
Was Larry in that one too?
yeah, he's one of the main characters.
Oh, wow.
I think there's another Toy Story coming out, right?
Yeah.
Was it up to 4?
4.
Yeah.
I think Chip needs to be in a Cars movie.
Nope.
Go
I
on
mean,
now.
if he's getting run over by one, maybe.
Oh, no.
You know how much the kids would love Chip? Pull over! Pull
So
over!
he would be a police officer car.
Yeah. What are you doing? Telling jokes?
I like the Nemo movie. Was that Finding Nemo? That was good.
Because it sounds like the nickname you had.
Nemo?
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I have mixed feelings about this. Danny, what do you think? Girl got convicted. She was obviously a real cunt. She was encouraging the guy she was dating to commit suicide because she wanted the sympathy of the girlfriend, whose boyfriend. She's a real piece of shit, this girl. She's in Boston. And the guy was depressed. He had problems. I think she was 17 when she did it, and he was 18. And she was encouraging him to kill himself through text. And then he gets in the car, and she keeps saying, like, well, you said you were going to do it. Why aren't you doing it? So he's in the car, and I think at one point he wanted to get out, and she goes, get back in.
Yeah, I think he did get out.
He did, and she told him to get back in. She's a piece of shit. She really is. So I don't have much mercy for her because I think that she's garbage. But I also, like, the ACLU is like, it's free speech, and in a way it really is. Like, you can't be responsible through text what somebody else does.
Yeah, but she also didn't try to help.
But are you obligated to? I don't know that you're obligated to, even though I think that she's a cunt and she's horrible. You know what I mean? That's not...
Yeah.
So if I kept sending texts to Travis, say, go kill yourself, go kill yourself, go kill yourself. And if he did...
Then you're responsible.
I'd get in trouble for it?
Obviously, the guy was very troubled, but...
Yeah, I don't know. There should be like a good Samaritan law where, like, you know, if somebody is in danger, you should have to help them.
Of course.
You don't. You could sit there and watch them writhe and die.
Yeah, but, you know, the judge didn't agree.
Yeah, but he's wrong. Yeah. And I hate to say that he's wrong because I think that she's awful. Like, I don't even... Like, I disagree with the verdict, but I still want to see her go to jail just because she sucks.
Involuntary manslaughter, I think that's fair.
No, I mean, again, it's 100% your responsibility if you kill yourself. It's your responsibility. Because you know how many girls have wanted me to kill myself? You know how many fans want me to kill myself?
Yeah, I mean, why are we restricting it to girls?
Am I right? Maybe a lot of, yes, maybe a lot of men want me to kill myself. Maybe a lot of producers want me to kill myself, and people on the computer and co-hosts. And certainly former co-hosts want me to kill myself.
I see. No, Anthony loves you.
I had a bitchy girl this weekend at a wedding.
What happened?
I hate the girls who stand. People are dancing. The dance floor is packed. She doesn't like the song, so she keeps giving me maybe she wanted me to kill myself. You know, the finger across the throat, like, get this off.
Definitely
Stop playing. I hate that.
Me too.
Like, and then she comes up to you, right? And she goes, nobody wants to hear this. I go, the dance floor is packed.
What was the song?
What the heck was? Oh, I think it was Jay-Z. It was the last song of the night. I usually play that at the and Alicia Keys. Empire State, New York, yeah.
That's your last song?
I usually do that, yeah. I mean, that's an update from New York.
Troy,
New
is
York,
that a good song for the last song at a wedding?
I wouldn't say the last song. I mean, that's kind of gets people hyped, but yeah,
right.
Hey, whatever.
Well, there you go. You see why? I pump that up, and then I get the overtime. They go, we can't close this party down. And I come back for an encore. I walk away from the DJ booth.
That's weird. Wedding DJs shouldn't.
And people go, one more song, one more song.
Nobody's ever done that.
Yeah.
So what's the final song?
What's that? After that, when I play this past, they were a real rockin' crowd.
What do you play, Wooly Bully?
They wanted Rancid.
By the way, this is from... We segued into this from the kid committing suicide.
to a dance party.
Yeah, I hate girls like that.
Yeah.
I hate girls that encourage suicide. You know, the same as the ones who don't like that song I play.
I just go off on tangents.
You really do.
Yeah.
You're totally detached from emotion.
He's on the spectrum.
He is on the spectrum. I'm not even insulting you by saying that. It is. You'd see a guy like laying there wounded, from a car accident, and you'd somehow segue. What year were you born? Do you know what the number one song about cars is? As there's a car parked on his fucking thighs.
No, but I'm able to make some extra money, so why not?
Do they do overtime? I didn't know that.
You know, if it's at a house party or something, usually what I'll
time
do
and a
is,
half.
Yeah, I'll just give the guy another couple of 15 minutes, and he'll say, "Hey, thanks. Here's a crisp $100 bill."
They usually
So what
do
happened with this woman?
Do they ever not tip?
I just don't. Yeah, some people don't.
A lot of people.
Some people don't. Yeah, some people don't. I guess they figure they paid, that way. But I'm in the service industry, so
do you tip a DJ?
I think yes,
it's
yes.
nice.
Please,
Is it?
Yeah, please tip a DJ. I don't like when a guy comes up and he gives you like $10. He goes, "Hey, play Paradise City." It's like, just because you gave me money, I have to play this song and disrupt the flow.
Right.
I'll work it into a rock set.
Of course you will.
I'll work it into a rock set.
Not gonna pass
Do you
up
keep the
$10.
tip?
What's that?
Do you keep the tip?
I usually leave it on like the table, and then when he walks away, I take it. I just stash that bill in my pocket.
Dennis isn't
stash
passing
the
up
bill in
$10.
my shirt.
I
just
understand
like,
you do. You're just like in a taxi.
Just stash
fucking
the bill in
Denny
my
Chapin.
shirt. There you go. There.
Hopefully have the same thing happen on the LIE. All right, let's see here. Brad in Toronto. What's up, Brad?
Not much. How are you boys doing?
How are you?
Good. So I had just a quick comment about the suicide thing. So if he calls her or texts her and says, "I'm going to commit suicide," what I've been hearing is that she can type whatever she wants and or not do anything, and she's responsible in this case. But she shouldn't be. At least that's what I'm hearing. The other piece is that if he was texting her saying, I'm going to blow up a building or I'm going to shoot up a nightclub, and she doesn't say anything or she encourages it, after the fact, she would be absolutely guilty.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting point. I hadn't thought of that. I don't know. Let me think about that. That's not a bad point. Yes, Dennis.
Was it like that? Remember the woman upstate you always used to do the funny voice from her who helped the prisoners escape?
Oh, Tilly. That twat.
Yeah. So basically, she knew they were going to escape.
Well, that's also her job, is to not let them escape.
She was helping them, though.
Right.
She's assisting.
But she knew, so therefore she's guilty, too.
It's
so
totally different.
What Brad from Toronto was saying is exactly right.
I guess the difference being, no, it would be the same. You don't even know if they're telling the truth.
Aiding and abetting.
So is that? Let's look up aiding and abetting. I don't. That might be a really good point, Brad. I don't know the answer to that. Fuck. You might. You might have changed my. But the AC. Then why is the ACLU against it? Not that they're always right, but they're pretty good about this stuff.
So the instance in Florida, the guy that shot up the nightclub.
Yeah, the Pulse.
They went back and they. I don't know what the latest on it is, but initially they had arrested his wife because they said that she knew what he was going to do, and he had been sending her messages about it.
Wow.
They had communication back and forth that suggested that they were somehow, if you know about that stuff and don't do anything, you're somehow complicit in the crime.
Complicit. Yep. Good point. I don't know how to still feel the way I feel, and I still think it has to be allowed. I don't know how to rectify that. So maybe somebody has a better answer than I do. Thanks a lot, man. Good call, Brad. I appreciate it.
What about?
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job. Love you.
Thank you very much. Denny is a fucking fine addition. Yes, sir, Denny.
What about that woman, the wife of the guy who shot up at the baseball game? Did she know he was going to do that?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
but the guy made a great point about aiding and abetting.
Yeah.
Are you obligated, or maybe this is not a crime? Maybe it's not the crime, a level of crime. Maybe it's only certain crimes, only violent crimes against other people. I don't know what the answer is. Before we take a quick break, we do have TJ Miller. Is he here yet?
No, he's running a few minutes. But
okay, fine. Greg in Pennsylvania is a really important social point. Hello.
Hey, Jim. How are you, sir?
I'm good, Greg. How are you?
I'm good. I just started listening to your podcast a few minutes ago. I figured I'd give you a call and tell you how much I love the opening of the show, the Jimmy Jasta intro.
Oh, Jamie was so great, man. I got to get Jamie Jasta. He's from Hatebreed. He's a huge Chip fan, and I got to get him on that podcast. He's a really, really good supporter of Chip Chipperson.
Yeah, that the podcast is hilarious too. But that opening, man, it's fucking kick ass, man. I love it.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate you checking it out. New ones go up typically on a Sunday night, and I think this one is really funny too. And the response on it's been very good. People really.
I appreciate you, sir.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. All right, we're going to take a quick break and eat. TJ Miller is going to come in to promote Meticulously Ridiculous, his new HBO special, which you can either watch on HBO or you can get on HBO Go and on demand. And I'm sure it's a really, really funny special. I've heard it was great. I was talking to somebody who was seeing it. They said it was great. And I have a bunch of gigs coming up, which I did tweet. Pittsburgh, June 30th, July 1st. Nashville, it's Zany's July 14th, 15th. Then Sam and I are up in Montreal, the 28th and 29th, I think. And I am also going to be August 5th. I'm going to be in the Borgata Hotel.
Yeah, I'm going to be, the following week, I'm going to a DJ show in Atlantic City.
Where?
At the Atlantic City Convention Center. Because for the past, how many years, it was at the Trump Castle there, whatever it's called, Trump Casino?
Trump Castle,
yeah. But it's not there anymore. No, they closed it.
So where's it going to be?
Well, it's at the Atlantic City Convention Center.
Oh, okay.
Big DJ show. Yeah, maybe Troy, you want to come?
No.
Are you staying down there?
What's that?
Quick no.
No, just go up and down for the day.
Wow, why don't you stay there?
What's that?
What's that?
What's that? I mean, you see the DJ gear. You open that for one day.
You buy stuff?
Yeah, you can buy gear. I like going on the last day.
You do that on Amazon?
No, you can go and
I'm sure saying you can do it on Amazon.
You can, but you could play with all the stuff.
Let me say, well, here's what you like the last day because you might get them cheaper.
Exactly, because they don't want to take back the gear.
But again, a lot of it might be gone.
No, they bring a lot of stuff down there. But you're right. That's the gamble. It's like going to Atlantic City. So you're not only gambling at the casino, you're gambling with getting prices of DJ gear.
How much can you save?
Oh, a couple of $100. Cool. You buy $1,000 speaker. Say, you know what? You could bargain with the guy. I don't want to pack it up, put it in the truck. I'll give you $5. $5. What do you? I'll give you $6. All right, $6. So you save a couple of $100.
Have you done that?
Yeah.
What are you looking for this year?
What's that?
What are you looking for this year?
A new DJ controller to play the music.
I thought that's you.
Yeah, that's me.
What's wrong with your DJ controller?
What's that? I get a new one. It's like a console, so I just always want to upgrade. You always want to stay ahead of the curve with electronics.
You do?
Yeah, because it just gets outdated so quick.
And you're good with that stuff.
I like to stay ahead of the curve on a lot of things.
All right, well, good for you. We'll be talking some more news when we come back. And, stick around. I got to eat some eggs before I vomit. We'll be back shortly.
And that guy was saying how much you love the opening of your podcast.
Oh, yeah. This TJ Miller has just came in right before the break. And of course, Danny is still here. Yeah, he likes Jamie Jasta from Haybury did the music. It's very brief.
It's great. But also, sometimes the best part of a podcast is the opening music, like the opening. So
that's probably the truth with Chip Chipperson's podcast. The opening music is definitely it's all down to the highlights.
I prefer Mark Maron's podcast when I turn it off after the opening.
Do you listen to his podcast or no?
No. I mean, I think he's one of the best interviewers that there is. He's kind of like Adam Carolla. He's so obsessed with himself that he's also obsessed with other people and what they think about the things that he thinks about. Mm-hmm. But I don't listen to it. I can't. He's always been very mean to me and mean to my friends.
Why is he? I wouldn't think that. Why?
Well, first of all, I don't think he's definitely not a fan of like my stand-up or anything or me. But he's very funny about it. Andy Kindler once was like, hey, TJ Miller, Mark Maron, Mark, obviously you're a fan of TJ's. And Mark's like, no. And I was like, oh. All right. And he kind of said, yeah, and I like his acting, but I don't really understand what he's doing with his stand-up. I don't get it. And
did he say it sucks or he just didn't care for it?
He just kind of was like, I don't understand why this person is doing stand-up. He should just be an actor.
Oh, okay.
Which is what I think actually a lot of stand-ups think about other stand-ups. Like if they got their shot to do radio or to do television or film, that they would stop doing stand-up comedy. And that's such a weird thing coming from a person who I see as a stand-up purist.
Yeah.
But I just said, yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody, you know? And it's not like you're necessarily my taste either, because I don't like his stand-up, really.
Okay, well, that happened. Yeah, maybe you guys are both just, your mentalities are different sensibilities. But I don't know if I tweeted it. But I took a photo of your billboard when I was walking through Times Square.
Crazy,
and I was going to tweet it or send it to you. It's a great
location.
Billboard. Yeah, the location's amazing.
I see it every morning walking up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. First of all, I apologize to you, but I also think, I think that, sorry, I was too far away from it. Okay. I'm not a radio veteran, Jonathan. No, it's an incredible placement. And then Kate and I went there. And I was just like smoking and looking at this incredibly surreal situation and then having so much fun with people that would walk by and see me and then see the billboard and be like, what? Is this real? And I don't usually take pictures, but I took a bunch of pictures because it was such a surreal situation. Do you take pictures with people?
Every time they ask.
Really?
I've never said no. Unless I was literally running to a plane. I always say yes because I like getting them with people. Yeah. So I never say no to fans. Unless I don't hear them. Someone's like, you blew me off. I'm like, it wasn't intentional. Do you not like, but Louis doesn't like doing it. Some people, I've come to realize that some people just don't like doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was okay for a long time, for years. And then it's become so oppressive now.
Is it a point where you can't really, if it's stopping your day from flowing and like you're like, all right, then I guess you have to.
And I think another thing is that people will always say like, oh, I hate to do this or I never do this. And you kind of want to be like, well, then don't do it. or, you know, I don't want to be that guy. Well, then don't, if you don't want to. Yeah. But it's really just they're being polite and trying to say, like, I know that this is selfish of me, but I would like to take your time to have a picture to post on social media. And the time when I had to stop was it kept interrupting heated conversations with my wife and myself.
Okay.
And it's weird to kind of be having to make a point or understand someone else's point of view and then to stop and go, you know, and smile 100%. And then come back to it. And I just started to see it kind of take away from my life in a way where I was like, and so what I do is, I think this is really good, is I'll give someone a high five or give them a hug, or George Clooney does this thing where he goes, no, I won't take a picture, but I would love to meet you. And then he shakes their hand and gets their name and then walks away. And so I kind of do that, but I also say, this is also my opportunity to tell you to stop recording your life and live it. Sometimes just live it without recording it.
Well, most people don't forget, as performers, we have a documentation of a lot of our life, whether it's through TV or through
Page 6.
There's a lot of us, like wherever it is. Page 6 doesn't really pay attention to me, but
somehow they're reporting that I'm happily getting drunk on a train to Boston.
Were you?
Yes, of course.
They said you're doing it now. Oh, they caught you getting drunk on a train.
Caught me. I mean, who doesn't get drunk on a train? That's what train travel's for. They can't kick you off the train. You can fall off of a train. You can't fall off a plane, but they will kick you off a plane if you are too drunk. So, absolutely, Page 6, reporting to you live, the facts.
And by the way, people asking while you're having a discussion like that, that's rude. To interrupt people with their kids or when they're in the middle of something, like that's a bad time to do it.
I can't imagine trying to discipline a child and having somebody just lurking, waiting to take a picture with you. It's just it's a tough and interesting scene. But I don't, I don't feel bad because for the most part, people hear what I say and they go, yeah, you know what, you're right. Or they almost sort of say, I respect that. Sometimes I get people being like, you fucking asshole, I didn't even know who you were, man. My girlfriend told me you're famous. Everything I've seen you in sucks, you fucking dick. Who do you think you are not taking a fucking picture?
You had guys say
asshole. That? Yeah. I've had that happen a bunch, mostly in Kansas.
Did you care?
That's just where my family's from. I mean, I care only in so much that my wife was like, dude, you can never, ever get in a fist fight again. Because I almost got in a fight with this guy in Ireland.
About what?
He was like, talking to us. He's so drunk he could barely stand up, and his friend was like propping him up and helping him home. This is like 2:30 p.m. Classic Ireland. And he walked by and he kind of reached out towards Kate, and I sort of moved her around. And she's like, wow, I haven't had somebody grab my ass in a while. And I was like, what? And the guy, I guess, he grabbed her ass full on. So I turned around and walked back, and I was like, I need to talk to you. But his friend was like, please, he's so drunk. Mm-hmm. And I looked at him, and he really was really drunk, but like Ireland drunk.
Like you, one punch, you would have put him out, Yeah.
And also just like bleary-eyed, probably forgot that he had even done that by that point. And his friend was so sincerely sorry and also saying that don't escalate this into a fight because he's not going to win and he doesn't know what he's doing. Like, just have my back here and don't break this guy's nose.
Yeah, understand.
Like, okay, So I walked away from that, but she is very adamant about that. So it's tough just when people act like that. For some reason, I feel like there should be repercussions.
Well, are you a fighter? Are you a guy who's like, you're more likely to throw a punch?
No, because I just have so much background in hecklers. People, I don't know why, but I guess I just look like a guy that you should yell at. And so every single, do people heckle a lot during your shows?
Sometimes.
You're sort of not like a monologist, but you're doing a monologue that it feels like if you interrupt it, then you're interrupting the flow of it.
Sometimes at the Comedy Cellar when I'm working stuff out because they're not fans, I'll just go on, and they're just there for a show. They're not there to see me. A lot of times I'm not even on the list. I'll just kind of go in when So they don't know I'm going to be there. So if they're interrupting, it's because I'm saying shit they don't like. Like, I don't like this guy. Most of my fans don't care. Yeah. They're not going to heckle unless it's fun shit. Chip, Uncle Paul, Opie Anthony. Like, they'll yell that stuff, but they're having fun.
Yeah, and I think that's my thing is that people are almost always having fun. It's just I'm so used to having to chastise an entitled girl that's at a bachelorette party or some guy who clearly just wants to be the main thing in the show. So I've always been good, even as a kid, at sort of verbally eviscerating people. And so it usually doesn't come to fisticuffs ever. Like, even on the street, I'm so quick to cut a person apart or make them feel embarrassed in front of the girl they're with that they'll walk.
And have you had that when, what's caused you to do that? What's kind of sparked those incidents?
It's often just what I said. Some guy going, man, you fucking won't take another picture, like a fifth picture with his girlfriend because she doesn't. And I'm like trying to get a drink and Kate's waiting or whatever. Like I've been waiting to talk to my friends for so long.
Sure.
And I'm like, I just can't take a fifth picture, man. I think there's got to be one of those. And they, man, fuck you. You think you're hot shit, fucking Hollywood piece of shit asshole coming to our city acting like that. They get very, very aggressive. And so then that's when I have to either like just, sometimes I'll scream at them and really scare them because they're like, why is he making such a huge scene? Isn't he embarrassed? And I'm not. And so
right.
And then if his girlfriend's with him, I'll be like, oh, God, you're going to be an excellent father. I mean, that's probably one of the reasons that this woman is with you is you just seem like you could be an excellent father figure. And then, you got them kind of having to double back and rethink their behavior. But that's what I always do that in shows. I recontextualize someone's behavior at the show. And then that always makes them sort of ashamed of kind of the stuff that they're saying. Or you ask them what they do for a living. They're like a teacher. And then they've already made the joke of why they're yelling pussy.
Yeah, why they're being stupid assholes.
Yeah, right, exactly.
But that's it's fun. But I take the pictures because I don't mind taking them. But again, if I had,
you're a good person.
No, it's like I'm just lonely. You have a wife. You have real fulfillment. I need a stranger's fucking dirty armpit on my shoulder. If I was with somebody, it would probably. There's been a couple of times I was like, all right, it's never driven me crazy. But if I was at a point like you are, where there's way more people recognizing you and you're with your wife, it would probably get to be annoying.
And I'm gigantic. I mean, I think if you put on a hat and you head to the Comedy Cellar, people aren't necessarily going, whoa, that. But
they're not saying that if I carry a picture of myself over my head.
We drive around and people yell because they see me in a car or something like that.
Right.
But the thing is so like when we have we need a bodyguard in New Orleans because I was like, this could be too dangerous. Everyone is drunk in New Orleans all the time. And, but, he got a picture, one of his most prized possession. His most prized possession is his daughter, that's the thing that is his heart. But the thing that he has, is a picture of him. And I think it's Vince McMahon, right? Is that
right? Sure, wrestling.
And so that, for him, when he shows that to people and tells that story, he smiles from ear to ear. He's this gigantic guy. He's like 6'8" and 350 pounds. And I saw him like throw a guy laterally over 10 feet. It was really, really weird to look at. So a very dangerous person, but cries when he brings his daughter to the airport. And he just beams like ear to ear when he shows this picture,
right?
And talks about it. Everyone was afraid to go over to Vince McMahon, but he went over and Vince was so cool, and he was like, "Of course, I'll take a picture with you." And he took these pictures, and look how big I'm smiling in the picture. So it sucks because sometimes I say, like, I can't take a picture, but I'd love to meet you. This is my time to tell you. Don't always record your life. Sometimes just live it. And you can tell they're like, this is the biggest bummer of my life. Like, I'm a huge fan, and now my story is like, he wouldn't take a picture with me.
Yeah.
But they're not taking the picture because they are only taking it because of themselves. They only want to put it on Facebook and be like, look how much cooler my life is than yours today. And that's kind of, there's something inherently kind of disgusting about that.
Yeah, I can see why.
It's a complicated thing because I also kind of walk away and I'm like, TJ, you're such a fucking dick. Like, just take the picture. But then I'm like, but it's a matter of principle. And then I'm like, fuck your principles. Values are transitive.
Why not just make it? Why not just make it however you feel at the moment? Like, there's some people you may want to, and there's a time where you may want to, and you do it. And then when you don't want to, you don't do it.
That's a very Zen way of looking at it. I unfortunately am constantly concerned with morality and whether or not it is a relative or absolutist compass.
I figure that people feel, and they're wrong, but they feel like they know us better than they do because of what we do.
You especially. I mean,
well, radio is very,
very, very intimate, and the people are listening to you for a very long time, and they know about your personal life, and they know about your opinions on almost everything. I mean, if they've listened for years,
yeah,
and they really think they know you. So I was also going to ask you that: is do you think that being on radio, people think that they know you even better than if you are on television?
Yeah, because you're talking for 3 hours a day. I mean, it's 15 hours a week or 12 hours a week. It's a lot of communication with them, and they can go online and listen to. Yeah, it's much more intimate. I mean, it's not, you're not as famous as someone on television, but I think as far as the people who know you feel like they know you better, and they do.
Yeah.
They know my real opinions. They know my real personal life. Some people on radio don't talk about their personal life at all, even though they expect other people to, and those people are annoying. I find it's my, I'm comfortable giving, kind of spitting it all out.
Full picture.
Yeah, I don't mind.
It's like your stand-up also,
Yeah, I'm like, why not? This way it's out there and who cares?
And it is a who cares thing, and also it's a make people feel less lonely thing. Like the podcast listeners, I have this podcast, Cashing In with TJ Miller, and both Cash Levy and I feel that those fans not only know us the best, but they're the ones that come to us and say, I was going through a divorce and I just listened to the podcast straight through, and it's something that I look forward to every week, and you become this person's sort of friend,
right,
someone that they can lean on. And I think that's very interesting, but you don't know about them, and yet because they're fans of your medium, in this case, your guys' show or my podcast, they feel like they know you, and although you don't know them, because they're a fan of that medium so devotedly, like they're so devoted to the show, they tune in all the time. If they miss an episode, they listen to it online. You kind of know something about them. Like you already sort of know you could get along with them, and that's what Kate always says. She says, "I hate every interaction you have with fans except fans of the podcast, because
really,
they are so much more understanding, so kind. They kind of know who she is. They understand the things that we hate and the things that we like." So that's an interesting part of kind of having fans of yours from radio and podcast.
Is your wife an actress?
No, she's an artist. She's like kind of a weird, famous underground artist here in New York City. She actually has this incredible exhibit at like a secret space somewhere in Manhattan. And her artist moniker is Rose Petal Pistol online, and so if you go to her site, you can call a number and you can see this space by appointment only. It's like walking into a poetry book. It's really, really weird. Really good. But she's also, obviously she's sort of is funny. She takes what she does very seriously, but she's one of the sillier people I've ever come across.
How'd you meet?
We met in college. We actually did a chorus line together, guys. I was in musical theater in college, way up in the cool points here on the Norton show. We auditioned. My work ethic has always been like, just do everything that you possibly can. And so I auditioned for this thing thinking there's no way they would put me in a musical, but no black people who could dance auditioned. And I can kind of dance, and went to school at like a mostly black and Latino school, hence the ironic gold chain, the tracksuit, all that stuff.
I didn't catch that.
I'm looking at this chain there. Yeah, look at the chain.
But it's it was, for whatever reason, they cast me as, she was a ballerina. She played the character Maggie because she is a ballerina, and I played the character Richie. I played the black guy in the. It's so ridiculous. So that's how we met. And the first thing I said to her is I was like, wow, she's so like stunning and charismatic. And I'm going to go over there and talk to her. And I said, are you a freshman? Because I just hadn't seen her around. She's like, no, asshole, I'm a junior. And then she walked away. So that was pretty funny. I was like, well, nowhere to go but up, because I'm starting below zero. And then we've known each other since then, and we kind of dated in school, then had an open relationship because she lived in New York and I was in Chicago, and then she kind of was tired of waiting for me to come from Chicago to New York, because I kept being like, oh, it's going to take us 6 months for me to kind of conquer what I need to do here in Chicago. And that was very arrogant. I mean, it took 6 years to become at the top of the stand-up game. So she was sick of it, and we broke up, and then she was in this very emotionally abusive relationship, which is reflected in her work. And this guy like put malware in her computer and was spying on her.
Oh, one of those guys.
Real crazy guy. Real like insecure, sad, crazy guy. And then she moved to Los Angeles to get away from him and like had to erase all her stuff.
Oh, it sucks.
And then we started dating again, and then she totaled my car, and I was like, I think you're in a bad place and probably need to figure this out on her own. She became a chanting Buddhist. Then we got back together before I almost made a terrible mistake and married a girl that I was engaged to because she was funny, even though she was really kind of horrible to me.
How long did you break up? When you said when she crashed your car, how long was your breakup? And then when she became a chanting Buddhist before you got back together?
2 years.
Oh, that long?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it was never contentious. It was never like, man, fuck you. I never want to talk to you again. It was sort of like, I think this is the wrong time. So then when I almost married this girl who's a groundling, I was like, no, I'm going to talk to Kate. I should, because we were still friends. And I went and had lunch with her at LACMA, where I later proposed to her. And just, I could not stop thinking about her the second that we left. And like right at the end of the lunch, we kissed. And it was sort of this weird thing of like, this is who I want to marry. So I broke up with the other girl, and then, and then I was like, okay, please, will you date me? And she was like, no, you're in a fucked up place. Just same as if I totaled her car. She's just like, it seems like you're in a bad place. You have to get through this on your own. I said, well, look, she goes, I can't be in that rebound section of your life. And I was like, well, I'm going to go have a rebound. And she was like, yeah, I know. And you got to go do that. So then I went and met this other girl and screwed around with her for a while.
How long is a while? 3 months or a year?
Yeah, 3 months. 3 months to 6 months, yeah.
Wow.
Really cool girl. Really smart girl, yeah.
Why didn't it last?
She was much younger than I was, and from the get-go, I was kind of like, this is sort of a rebound situation. She was like, I don't give a shit. Let's party. She was a lot of fun.
Wow, you guys handled that
Smart
pretty
chick.
maturely, though. Like, you weren't afraid that she was going to go away forever. I would have been so panicking that she was going to leave forever.
I think, we had dated each other for long enough that it kind of came to a point where it was like, well, we know that this is going to happen, so let's just do it in the right way. Yeah, she's also quite a bit smarter than I am, a lot more cultured, and just very even-headed. Neither of us, we don't have big fights and stuff. We never, because both of us are very selfless instead of selfish, but not in an unhealthy way with one another, because the other person doesn't take advantage of the person being selfless. Sure. So we do quite well, and we're also have a completely transparent relationship. So it's like,
is it open or no?
No, but if I asked her, she's always said this: if you want to sleep with someone else, just ask me, instead of going and doing that and then feeling bad about it or something like that. And I have the same policy for her, but instead of that ever happening, it's almost a great piece of reverse psychology. Ladies, if you want your fellas not to have intercourse with other people, be so cool that you say you're open to it. And then they'll be like, why would I sleep around on a girl that's that awesome?
Do you have any idea how fast I would blow that?
Or did you blow it, or did she just make a small mistake and now
she made a judgment error? Yeah,
to be a close relationship. But the other thing that helps is like my wife's pretty crazy. Like she likes to have a fun time. She's from a small town in Michigan. And so when we're in New Orleans, it gets plenty crazy.
So you have fun?
Yeah, I don't need to. I'm not like looking at every girl that walks on the street being like, "Ooh, what would that be like?" I'm just at a strip club with my wife in a VIP room going nuts. It's a good old time.
Yeah, so you get what you want from this one person. That's good.
Trying to get it done. Yeah.
That's it's important. And the girl who you said was mean to you, how she didn't treat you well? What did she do that was so bad?
I think in a way she was emotionally abusive, kind of like this guy was with Kate. She sort of, because I worked so much harder than she did, and so success was coming to me much more and much more quickly than for her, that made her feel insecure. But instead of working harder, she kind of would be mean to me. And she would say that nobody really liked me, that everybody was just around me trying to get something from me. And, just really demeaning stuff all the time. Say the kind of stuff like, well, maybe if you lose some weight, your girlfriend will want to fuck you once in a while. And just
She said it to you?
Yeah, and I was like, those are things you're supposed to keep inside your mind, not say out loud to a person. When
Wow, that's an awful thing to say.
It's a pretty terrible thing, but that was like on the list of the myriad of things that, she did that were just like horrible.
What, did she not want to fuck you?
I mean...
Like, did you sense that, or was she just being mean?
She was just being mean.
Wow.
She didn't tell you to commit suicide, did she?
No, she just implied. It was always implied. She was always sort of just implying you'd be better off not being.
It's funny. I've been mean to women. I've said mean shit. I've never told anyone to lose weight, so I'd want to fuck them.
I think that's so mean. And also, it's just a thing of, here, I'm going to make you my wife. I said, what can I bring Jim Norton as like a little gift? And she goes, why don't you make him an ice cream cone, a little miniature ice cream cone, but instead of ice cream, there's cheese.
That sounds delicious. I can't eat it, though. You have to give it to Denny.
She said it's the most disgusting present she could think of.
Denny, have it.
How come you can't have it?
Because it'll fuck my... I clear my throat a lot as it is.
It's disgusting.
It will mess me up.
It's a nice piece of stinky cheese.
It looks delicious, and thank you, but I can't. I'm sure it's amazing.
And if you don't like it, throw it away. Put it right back there. I'll eat it.
Denny, comment?
I'm crazy.
I didn't like it.
Like a little kid.
Funny cheese.
I didn't like it.
I like provolone.
It's like a kid.
Provolone cheese?
When you got a provolone version?
Wait, how many of those do you have?
Just one.
Oh, you only have one? Okay.
Well,
I got other ice cream cones. Not enough ice cream.
Oh, not enough cheese.
What is
Not
that,
cheese,
applesauce?
yeah. That's apple jam, I guess.
Denny, why don't you dip the cheese in the apple jam?
No, I didn't like it.
Oh.
I really like a kid. No, I didn't like it.
Yeah, I kid cheese will fuck my throat up and it'll cause problems.
No, we don't want to do that. That's
Travis, you want it?
Where's Roland? Roland should taste it and tell us what he thinks about
Roland's
it.
a foodie.
I like good pepper jack cheese.
Yeah,
good.
Good pepper jack cheese is good.
Yeah, let's get Roland. He'll try it, but Denny already tasted it.
That's okay.
Don't
tell Roland.
Okay.
It's not like there's a permanent record of us about to lie to him on
That's
the
a good
internet.
point. He'll never know. All right, let's see if we can
we're gonna
find
find
Roland.
Roland, yeah.
How come you didn't bring an ice cream cone with ice cream?
The ice cream would have melted. Oh. It was a logistical issue.
You don't want to try it with the apple butter?
No.
Did you? I'm positive you're so busy that I'm positive you haven't seen it yet. But I think you mentioned that you haven't. But did you see Meticulously Ridiculous?
I did not, but I don't watch anybody's specials because I don't want to be depressed
Really?
at seeing them do really good stuff. And I don't watch stand up. I very rarely watch it, but I love the poster for it. And your stand up is so different than mine that I could probably watch it because it would be like you have a different mindset than I do, and I think I would probably enjoy it.
And I think that also, I don't think there'd be many jokes where you're like, I wish I would have thought of that. Because that's what I hate in watching other stand-ups. But I watch them a lot, and I don't find them very funny. I think probably like you, it's like going to see stand-up has changed from an audience enjoyment, which it still is, especially at the Cellar. I just feel like there's this feeling there where if you're watching someone else, you just are mystified by the brick wall, by all of it. But for the most part, I'll watch friends' stand-up specials, and I'm kind of like, that is not funny to me. I mean, or I'm sort of studying it more than I'm watching it.
Right.
But I don't know if you've seen Norm Macdonald's.
I have not.
Oh,
I heard it's great.
Man, it's crazy. It's one of those ones like Ellen DeGeneres' album and special, and like Steve Martin's Live at the Hollywood Bowl. I mean, it is one of the great specials. It's so, and it is one that you would hate watching because there is a lot in it where you're like, how the fuck did he think of that? How is he putting it in such a funny way? It's got this whole bit about there's only, two reasons a person would hang themselves. Two reasons a guy would hang himself. To end this meaningless masquerade that we call life, or to masturbate. And then he talks about how he doesn't understand autoerotic asphyxiation in terms of risk and reward. And then the joke goes on for it's so good. So good.
Everyone has said his special is great.
Yeah, you got to watch it. And it's like, you kind of look at him and you're like, yes, you do have to have done stand-up this long to make a special this good. So I watched it, and at the very end of it, I closed the computer and went, oh, there's a lot of work to do. Like that's what it made me think.
Well, yeah.
Roll into cheese ice cream cone for you, sir.
Taste it. It's great.
Roland just is going to try it.
No one's tried it. It's an ice cream cone made of.
Roland took a bite. Hold on, Roland. You have to get on mic, please. Hold on, let me turn your hold on now.
Very sharp.
What's that?
Very sharp.
Very sharp cheese.
What kind of cheese is it?
It's I do not know. We were too drunk when we ordered.
Danny, what do you think of it?
I didn't like it.
Okay.
I didn't like it.
It's like part of the like Rofer family.
Rofer?
Yeah.
What's the Rofer family?
Like their blue cheese and that. It's a very sharp cheese.
They run that show, Three's Company.
That's what I thought too.
Did you? What do you think? You like it?
The aftertaste is pretty strong too.
My wife is like, it's the most disgusting dessert treat.
Did she try it or no?
You can trick people. Yeah, but she likes all that stuff.
Yeah, I can smell it from here. Yeah.
I love cheese, but it fucks me up. I had a couple of pieces of what's the hard one that comes in a. They break off big pieces of it.
Parmesan or Reggiano.
Parmesan or something like a couple. I had a couple of bites of that with honey.
Fuck. Well, that's delicious. This is an acquired taste.
Okay.
This is when I just moved to New York. This is one of the more New York conversations that I've had with like three white guys being like, too sharp for me. That cheddar is just too sharp. Ooh, I had some of that, the block, and they cut it off. Parmigiano. Yeah. Oh, I love with a little
honey
jam. Little honey, little organic honey.
This does need honey though too.
It does.
It adds. We have apple jam. Do you want some of that?
Oh, that probably will help it.
That's probably what it needed. That's what we did wrong.
What made you move to New York, by the way, out of L.A.?
Stand-up comedy.
Oh, you wanted to move and just do stand-up?
Yeah, man. I think the first time I came to New York to visit K8.
There we go.
It's good. Yeah, Roland likes it. It was my fault. I apologize. I should have included the jam early on in the process.
You enjoy it with the apple jam?
Oh, I love it.
Danny, you want to try with the apple jam?
No.
No, I didn't like it.
Danny's against that cheese.
Yeah, I mean, I got to this point, so there's this perfect sort of cliffhanger at the end of this season of Silicon Valley that kind of is a like, what will happen to Ehrlich? Will he come back? And I thought, television, unlike wine and women, does not get better with age. And I thought in a series where it's very cyclical in terms of they fail and they succeed, and then through success they find failure, and then they fail and they make that a success. I was like, what if one of the cliffhangers, what if suddenly this was the end to this character? And HBO came back to me because I'm so busy. My schedule is so crazy, so exhausting, so dangerous, actually, health-wise.
Okay.
That they were like, we had to move production around for you a couple times. So, we want to offer you a different deal to do maybe 5 out of the 10 episodes or 7. But legally, by doing that, they gave me the option to say no, to walk from the show, which they never thought I would do because they thought that I'm a television actor, just an actor. And an actor would never leave a television show.
Not an HBO series.
Yeah, and especially one that's that popular and has that much of a following. And so I thought that was the most interesting thing to do for the show because now it has to change it. And HBO they couldn't believe it. They were like, wait. What do you want to do? 3 episodes? You can do. Don't leave the show.
Did they think you were trying to bluff to get all 10?
No. Because they went right back and they were like, we'll do whatever it takes to like. Promise us or would you be open to a season finale? And I was like, no. It's so much more interesting if this is the end of that character and the show has to change. It has to grow. It's Mike Judge. It's not like they're going to figure out a way. I mean, Christopher Evan Welch died in the first season and they figured out a way to make the show as good as it is and as popular. I think it would have been funnier with him, but so they'll figure that out. And even Mike Judge, he called and said, well, look, are you sure you don't want to do any? Can't we just figure out? And by the end of the conversation, he kind of went, I sort of wanted to leave Beavis and Butthead. That's why I did the movie, because I wanted to leave it earlier than MTV did. So I guess, I'd probably do the same. So by the end of it, he was sort of admitting that creatively it's going to do something to the show, and that something isn't going to be anything but positive.
Right.
And it gave me this opportunity to tell Kate something, make a very strong statement to her, which is that I'm not a liar. Because for years, I remember we've known each other for like 14 years. For years, I've been saying the schedule is going to slow down. I'm going to do less. You just have to understand. I have to sprint right now before I can bring it down to a jog. It just requires this much work. And by this much, I mean like every single night performing, every single day having something. Weekends, there's always interviews. There's just always, or I'm
always something, yeah.
Always something. And so I was able to say to her, look, I'll walk from the most stable, most kind of important, big chunk of time that I'm doing this show. I'm going to clear that out completely and be in New York City, where your world is, where you are, where we can. Otherwise, it's like in the winter, we're basically in a long distance relationship while I'm doing the show because she stays in New York and I'm in Los Angeles. And that's just a terrible fucking way to.
She didn't want to live out there at all.
No, I mean, she stays with me almost the entire time, but then she's not doing anything but it's like just my life, you know? So I said, well, let's come to New York, because when I visited her, the first time I went to Rodney Dangerfield's Comedy Club, because I just want to see what a stand-up club went there. It was amazing. I couldn't believe it. Was totally mystified as an early 20-something. And I watched Artie Fuqua, right? New York club comic, an institution. That guy's amazing. So he's so good. And I remember he was like stretching and drinking water and asking the bartender, what time am I up next? Because I've got a 10:15 at the Cellar. And he's like, okay. And he's like, so I really got to leave by like 10 o'clock. And I was like, what? He's going to do another show? And so like a real creep, I followed Artie Fuqua around Manhattan for the evening because he went and did like 3 or 4 sets. And so I saw each of the sets that he did. And then would go up to comics afterwards, like a lame little wannabe comedian, going, "Hey, I'm an aspiring comedian. Do you have any advice for me?" And everybody was really, really nice, and everybody was like, "Oh, well, this, and this. All right, I got to go because I've got another set uptown or in Brooklyn or something." And that from that point, I was like, the coolest thing you could do with your life is be a New York stand-up comedian.
Just moving from spot to spot and always keeping busy, and
also, I've done it since then. I've done 10 sets, I think, or 11 sets in the city in one night before, and it's just the idea that just like when you're on tour, you know, one set, if it doesn't go well, that's okay, because some things went better than the last set, and you have another set after it. So you your whole night doesn't rest on this one performance that if it gets fucked up, you're like, and then you're going to sleep, kind of just being like, well, I hope I do better tomorrow. That isn't a part of the equation. You kind of statistically get better and for the most part have good sets. So every night is kind of a win, not a walk.
So do you live in Manhattan or did you live to one of the outer boroughs?
No, I live in Manhattan. We got a place in Greenwich Village.
Okay. So you're going to go out and do different clubs?
Yeah, I mean, I'm 6 blocks from the Comedy Cellar, which now she has 3 rooms.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's amazing. So you can, I think you probably know some people who just perform at the Cellar, that they just sort of.
I pretty much I'll bounce around once in a while, do the Stand or maybe occasionally Gotham, but mostly the Cellar.
That's great, yeah. Like tonight, though, I have 6 sets. And the Cellar will, for hopefully forever, be a place where I can like end my night and then just be home in 5 minutes.
Yeah, you can also do the Cellar. They have the Fat Black Pussycat, which is great.
Yeah, they have 3 rooms.
And the Village Underground, which is the Comedy Cellar. It's amazing that they have, and they're all good rooms.
They're all good rooms, and they're all good comics. And it's not just super famous comedians. You know, it's a lot of people who are, you know, well known, really veteran comics. She also puts up like the new people that have arrived at the level where they can perform there. But I always wondered, I was like, what's the big deal about the Cellar in the sense of like, why is everybody so focused on it? Why is it the hardest club to get into? Why is it all these things? And I kind of always saw it as cliquey, which I think a lot of people saw it as cliquey. And then I performed there the first time and I just ate shit. I did so poorly.
Did you?
And I was like, what is happening? I've been doing comedy for a long time, and I had a really tough set. And then she was so nice to put me up there a couple more times. And I realized after about 3 or 4 sets, I was like, this is a very hard room. And if you're not able to do a certain type of comedy or pivot quickly or crowd work or understand how to tell people to shut the fuck up or have jokes that make people shut the fuck up. If you can't get them to understand your sensibility immediately, they're kind of like, they're not an easy crowd. It is not a place that, like you're saying, a lot of them just came to see comedy, and if you're not their cup of tea, they're just going to start yelling or figuring out why they're not getting another drink quickly enough. So I think it's the most, in terms of your skill set, you have to be one of the best to even be able to survive in there.
It's funny. I guess I never thought of it as a hard room, but maybe you're right. Maybe it is a little, because it's McDougal Street, so there's all these people walking by. It's the mix of it is great. Like if the material works there, it'll pretty much work anywhere because the mix is so good. It's better than any because the Village is just so fucking full of everybody. It's black, it's white, it's Latin, it's foreign, it's tourist.
Yeah, and people come in, and the tourists are also like bridge and tunnel people that live outside of the city but want to come in to watch, and that's the club that they go to when they come into the city. And then it is a lot of tourists who are like, I saw that place on Louis. You know what I mean? Or I've heard about that place. So it itself is just as famous as any of the comedians that perform there. And but it's just a tough room. Now, around the corner at the Fat Black Pussycat and the Village Underground, those rooms are easier. I think they're much easier, and they're bigger. You know, the one is much bigger. But the Comedy Cellar is like, I don't know. I have high hopes in the sense that because there are now 3 rooms, I think it has to be more inclusive. She just needs more comedians performing in tandem at the same time. But that original room is still like, it's like the, have you ever played the OR at the Comedy Store on the West Coast in Los Angeles? It's the original room. Yeah. And that's just like a terrible room. It's horrible. It's open till 2. They start the comedy at 9. So it's like 5 hours of some open micers and then other Comedy Store paid regulars. And it is impossible. I mean, you just don't do anything but bomb there, but they won't let you play the other rooms until you can consistently kill in that one. So in that weird way, it's kind of analogous. Even though the Comedy Cellar is a really great club ultimately with difficult crowds, and the Comedy Store is kind of a shit club with terrible crowds.
You know, it's weird at the Cellar. I always do better at the club than I do at the Village Underground. Like I do the Village Underground, but I do much better in the Comedy Cellar than there. Like, I like that room, but for a long time I wouldn't do it. I went over to the Village Underground. I fucking ate my dick a few times. I'm like, I'm not doing it. This room is not for me.
Yeah.
I just got to stay at the Cellar. But I wanted to bounce around a little bit so I could get more sets in. And then now I love it, but I didn't like it for a long time.
Yeah, well, I mean, how long have you been performing at the Comedy Cellar? Because I saw you once and you were late to get downstairs for your set. I think you were upstairs in a conversation or something. And so they introduced you and you didn't come on stage, and then they introduced you again, and then they were waiting and you made a joke. And then you came on stage, and then you left. And I just remember you didn't have a great set, just to be upfront with you. But it was, you sort of said, wow, you know, you remember that feeling where you're late for work and then you get there and you're really not prepared, and that's what it feels like right now. And everybody I remember was like, what is he talking about? They just didn't understand that analogy. And so from the get-go, and then you like sort of ate it for a little bit, and then you started making fun of, you know, not doing great, and then you got them, and then you were killing, and then you like, but I just, you know, that was a while ago, but I just remember seeing you there and being like, this guy is so comfortable in this place that seems so high pressure. And so maybe part of it is this, like, that is your turf, you know, you've been there so many,
just comfortable.
Hours,
I think 96 I started there. I want to say 1996, maybe 95. It was, I got into there in Dangerfield's the same day.
Really?
Yeah, my first manager was Caroline's.
Big day.
It was a great day. I think it was Rick Dorfman who was at Caroline's at the time, and they were managing people. So Rick submitted me and sent my tape to Esty, and he sent my tape to Dangerfield's, Linda Rowe, and they both said okay. And then I had to audition for Esty, and I got in. It was the same day I got into both clubs.
Wow!
So that was a great day.
And Dangerfield's, I think, is a great day. That's like
I stopped doing
like winning the
Dangerfield's,
lottery and then winning the lottery a second time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're like, what? What an afternoon. I just won the lottery this morning. Dangerfields, and I was going to ask you about that. Why don't you do that club anymore? Because I thought it closed. Nobody talks about it.
Because my experience with Dangerfields, I had it did so much for me. But I always found that I prefer if the people are talking in the audience for the club to police them and shut them up.
Like at Gotham.
Well, yeah, or at the cellar they'll go over to them, or Caroline's, but I don't. If I feel like they're not going to do that, then I'm not interested in doing the club. But I have a very strong affection for Dangerfields. Like a lot of guys from the cellar wouldn't do it. But you do 25 minutes. You're up there working out. It was fun. Like I loved it, man. But after a while, I was like, the crowds are a little too talkative for me. And that was my experience with it. I just didn't want to go back if they weren't going to be quieted down.
Yeah, and I think that also shows a certain amount of respect for that's why my favorite club, I think, and it's only because I've been doing it longer, is Gotham. Because
it's a great room.
The security is all in suits, and they are all ex-police officers, and, they will really get people out of there. And for some reason, that's where I always have the most trouble getting people to be quiet. And so the fact that after 2 warnings or 3 warnings, they will physically remove someone is really, really nice. And they do it in a discreet way where it doesn't, nobody's yelling at them being like, why are you kicking me out? They're like, this person may have a gun, so I should just leave immediately and walk out. And that gives this feeling of that it's a real show, that you're truly there for the comedian, and that the establishment respects the comedian, so the audience should respect the comedian. But the club that I love doing, my home club here for so long, was Ha Comedy Club, which has since closed, I believe. No, here. And it was Times Square Comedy Club was the worst one, but they had 3 rooms in the basement. That one of them they eventually turned into a dueling piano bar, of course. But the stage was so sparse that one stage had a log on it, another stage had a fire hydrant on it, and then another stage had a rock. And that was it was black. Other than that, it was just it was such a shithole. And I loved it because they had shows, they would bark people in. It was like a con where they'd bark people in and then charge them for 3 drinks when they only got 2 and all this stuff. Wow. But they would have shows at 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 1 in one room. And then another room, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30. So what I would do is I would open a 6 o'clock show, leave after my set, go do a set at an alternative room, then come back and close the next show, and then open the one right after it, and then go. So mathematically, that's where I could do 6 to 8 sets pretty easily. And they were they didn't care if I didn't make a show.
They were fine with it, right?
It didn't matter to them because all that mattered was that there were comics long enough for them to booze up the crowd and turn over the room. But I loved that place. It was so hard, but once you got them, and it was mostly black and Latino audiences, but because they'd also serve underage kids, so there was a lot of 16-year-olds that knew that they could get booze there, and so they'd be there real late on a Friday night partying, and those were tough crowds, but I really liked it. It's gone now.
I never did it. I walked in there once after Opie and Anthony got thrown off the air in 2002. It was not long after that, and I went in with a comedian. She took me in, and the guy was such a dick to me at the door. I'm like, fuck this place. I never went back.
Probably this guy Cisco. Yeah.
I don't remember what his name was, to be honest. I don't remember.
Did he have we always teased him because he had a suit jacket that was about 3 sizes too big for him. He was a smaller guy, but he had a suit jacket that his hands didn't really even touch out of. So I always looked like a little kid wearing his dad's suit. Yeah. Because I think he was too cheap to get an alteration. He bought the wrong size. But that was kind of the guy that he was. He was always kind of a dick to everybody, wearing a suit that's a little bit bigger than he is. But he was always really nice to me because when I first went there, it was the only club I could get into because he loved Cloverfield. It's his favorite movie. And so, because I was in it, he couldn't believe that somebody from his favorite movie would come. So he said, whenever you want to come. Anytime,
that's great.
Push up all the time. Never paid me once, ever.
Wow.
Yeah. But I think there's this weird thing where I was so happy to be performing that I was like, I don't care. I'll do it for free.
Give a shit.
Yeah. But in retrospect, I think he probably owes me a few $1,000s. I performed there quite a bit.
And they know that too. They know that we want to they know that you want to do it so bad. They don't give a shit. You'll just show up and do it. All right, whatever. Don't pay me. I don't care.
Yeah. It's like giving heroin to someone and then saying like, you don't really have to pay me for this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Okay. All right.
And they kind of understand that. Yeah, but you get stuck in these little ruts too. Like I get that way not only with the clubs I do, but with just in life. Like I find myself spending a lot of time by myself. Like I'm thinking I want a relationship. Like I'm at my house all day by myself. I'm just eating dinner with female friends. Like I'm not even fucking these girls. I'm just going to dinner with women who aren't fucking me, which is fine. I mean, I'm not
Are you
trying.
picking up the tab?
Yeah.
What a gentleman.
I don't mind. It's like I'm outside. I'm not home by myself.
Yeah.
Watching fucking nonsense alone.
Yeah, nonsense.
Just
Pornography alone. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think for the most part, people tend to be at their best when they're in a good relationship. But it's just so hard to find that. And then so many people stay in bad relationships being afraid of what you're describing and not understanding that it's probably better to do that and then find somebody that is appropriate for you. But it's tough, man. My wife and I are always talking about we'll have dinner with a couple or have friends and interact with them. And then when we leave, we're like, if they would just let go of this thing, not keep bringing up things from the past, if they would not think, like we can pinpoint 3 or 4 things that if they changed those things, then their relationship would be really, really good. But it's you can only change yourself. I mean, we can't like tell them, yeah, you guys should probably like agree that something has been resolved and then move on from it and not bring it back up when you're angry. That comes from like parents that did that.
Do you not do that when you're mad, or does your wife not do that to you when you guys are like? Because that's impossible for me not to bring shit up. It's a terrible quality.
Never. We would never.
When it's done, it's done.
It's done. And you know what? A lot of times, like the next day, she'll be like, "I'm so sorry. I was so mad yesterday." I'm like, "Why? Who cares? We got through it. It's fine." So, and the reason is because neither of us really take anything personally. So many people are like, "You must not respect me. You must not like me. You're not treating me how I deserve it. This isn't fair." When it doesn't have anything to do with that. The person is acting the way they're acting for their own reasons. It's not about you. And so when we take that out of the equation, then we find, so that's like one of the biggest things is if you bring stuff back up in a fight, then that stuff isn't gone. It isn't going to go away. And it's always a threat to the other person that you could refer back to that. Whereas if you just sort of forget it, that day is done. That fight is gone. The past isn't even real. It's already happened. So focus on right now and kind of look towards the next day. So there's a lot of days that we wake up and where other people would be yelling at each other. You know, you woke up and you were so drunk you urinated in the corner, or you were beating me up in a hotel lobby, which is her to me, not me to her.
Did she beat you up in a hotel lobby?
Yeah, she beat me up in a hotel lobby.
Why?
He was peeing in the corner.
Yeah. she from the 3-point line, swish. She was really, really drunk in San Francisco. We've been out all night. And we got back and she got mad about something. It wasn't even really anything I did. And she just started beating the shit out of me. And luckily, she's kind of a smaller girl. I'm pretty big. But she's got a good right hook. You know what I mean? And so she hit me a few times, and the hotel lobby was like, like they didn't know what was going on because I wasn't mad. I was just sort of taking punches, and she was kind of falling as she was hitting me, and I picked her up and kind of gave him this look like, it's going to be fine. We'll get her upstairs. And then she like socked me in the stomach, and I was like, okay, all right, we got it. Yeah. And I was just praying that I had my hotel lobby key, because it would have been awkward to continually be assaulted as I'm like, can I get a new key? I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Room 3, last name Buttlesticks. So yeah, but like the next day she goes, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe that I didn't mean, oh my God. And I'm like, who cares? You were drunk. It was at least I'm the size of an ox, you know? And so that's fine. And it makes for a great story. And now you can always say, look, you better watch his step, because I beat the shit out of him in a hotel lobby once, you know?
I would bring that up forever if I got beaten up by a woman. I would
Really?
never let her forget it. You believe me, you're much better than I am. You're going to have a longer relationship than I'll ever have.
I don't know about that. I mean, but it's a different approach. I also, I told her and insisted that she pee on my head. once.
Did you really?
Yeah, and so she did.
What were you doing? Was it in bed, or were you just feeling silly?
No, I was in the bathtub, and I told her, I said, listen, forever, you'll be able to say, if ever you feel mistreated or you're in a social situation and people are only paying attention to me and they're being rude to you, you can say, like, you know, you may think he's hot shit, but I've pissed on his head before. And you can always say, see, that's my husband over there. One time I peed on his head. And so she did it. And then afterwards, I was like, see, now you can bring that up for the rest of our lives. And she goes, oh, no, I would never. That's so embarrassing. And I was like, fuck, why did I do that?
Did you enjoy it?
She's never brought it up. I mean, it didn't bother me.
It didn't turn you on, though.
Yes, but if you're engaging in any sort of pee play, in general, stay hydrated. We all know that.
Very important, actually.
Stay as hydrated as you can be, then there will be almost no odor to it. And it's almost purely water.
Yeah.
Be safe, people. Be hydrated.
Yeah. You don't want the real tart popcorn ones are horrible.
The tart popcorn ones.
Yeah, I've had quite a few of those. No good.
No, that's a no-go.
So let's promote. We have to take a break. Let's promote TJ's special. He's hanging with us till 11. Meticulously Ridiculous. It's on HBO, or you can go to HBO Go or On Demand. And I'm really happy for when I saw that poster, I was like, they're really promoting their special. Like, I think because of Netflix, like, everyone's reacting to try to push their specials even harder.
Yeah.
So you're at a great time. This is a great time to do an HBO special.
No, absolutely. And Netflix is sort of pushing the quantity. We've got a lot of quantity. We've got plenty of stand-up. We've got new people. We've got established people. And I think more people might be watching those because they have Netflix. It comes up on their Netflix queue. But you're right. It seems like HBO is reacting because they're fighting. At first, they were just fighting Showtime and Netflix, and now they're fighting Hulu and Amazon.
Right.
And so, yeah, that's sort of everybody's got guns drawn, and So you're absolutely right. It's a great time, but also it was the right time for me. Like if I had done this special 2 years ago, it wouldn't be. I really feel like this is that material presented in the best possible way, edited in the best possible way, and I can walk from it and work on the next special, which is what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's the best feeling is when it's finally done and you're like, oh,
yeah,
and I can just fuck around.
Yeah, right, exactly. For a year, you can just fuck around. It's nice.
All right, and if you want to check out, I got a bunch of gigs coming up. Just go to jimnorton.com, and the new Chip Chipperson podcast is now up as of last night. And we're going to be right back hanging with Denny and TJ Miller. We're back in a couple of minutes.
Yes.
I always fuck up with the board. People get mad.
Well,
I don't care.
You've only been doing it now, 6 months?
I should long enough to I should be much better at it.
Yeah.
But I just have no emotional investment in it. It's just a thing I have to do. It's required that I do it.
No, it's not.
Well, it is if I'm sitting here.
Right, but Sam always did it.
He did, but we both liked the view change. It was just a change for both of us. He'd been doing that for years.
Yeah. And
I got sick of the same view. I had the same view for years, so this just made it easier. It's more fun.
Gotcha.
Do you like? Did you like radio when you started? Like, did you love it, or have you come to love? Oh, so you always have loved it.
Yeah, because it was I was gaining fans. I couldn't believe people were listening and liking it.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I saw you once. You've always been so nice to me throughout my entire time doing comedy, and I remember. You did a theater in Philadelphia and it was sold out. I saw it. It was so amazing. And then you waited outside and greeted fans and took pictures with them. And I think your security guy was a guy from New York that I had seen around who maybe managed a club or something like that. But he was really nice too. And
was it Kenny who used to work here?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, Kenny.
So Kenny was so nice. And then, I remember kind of talking to you. And even then, this was a while ago. It was a few years ago. Even then, I kind of was like, Jesus, this is sold out. These people are crazy. There's a line of 200 people to talk to you. And even then, you're kind of like, I know, it's the show. It's crazy, right? So even then, you kind of were like, I guess this is what radio does. If you're on like one of the biggest shows, then this is what happens. And so, yeah. I mean, and I always thought that was a good medium for you because you are so honest. People appreciate your sort of earnest, the nature of the way you talk about things. It just feels like you have no reason to bullshit or be anything but truthful and transparent. And I love that. I mean, I think, and I think people connect to that now more than ever because we feel like everyone around us is lying, or there's so many people in positions of power in our lives where they're just lying. And so we really do like to turn to, especially comedians who are absolutely authentic and honest. One of the AV Club did a review of my special, which I was telling you off air, I'm obsessed right now with watching, because I don't really care about reviews at all. And I don't really, especially with movies like Office Christmas Party or Transformers 4, movies like that are not for the critics. They're not for they're not for hipsters who are kind of like, ugh, the emoji movie. Why would you do a movie about emojis? Well, because it's for kids, asshole. Like, go back on IMDb and write, negative comments about Deadpool 2. Like, I do different things for different people, but this stand-up is so personal. And it is such a strange, and as you mentioned, kind of different type of stand-up that I'm really interested in. Like, certain people don't get it. There's this great review that I read on Colbert from the Sioux City Journal where he took a lot of the absurdist stuff that I said literally, like he thought I actually did. He says in the review, Miller admits that he spent $73,000 last year on carnival games alone. And then dash a little insight into his tendencies. So this guy in Iowa, this guy Bruce R. Miller, he betrayed one of his own. Bruce R. Miller, he is a reporter that believes that a man spent $73,000 on carnival games. That's not even physically possible, guys. Let's do the math real quick. Carnival games, because I play them, I obviously have a problem, cost between $1 and $3 per game. You'd have to play 26,000 plus carnival games to spend $73,000.
It doesn't seem possible.
How? You'd have to be at the carnival, you'd have to be traveling with them, you're playing 12, 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day. You got to hire someone with a bronze ball and a bucket, and when you start to fall asleep, he drops the ball in the bucket. You're just throwing those darts, trying to make the star go away with the BB gun. So some people, I think, do not understand the stand-up special.
Sure.
And then, because I enjoy going on and seeing the people that mention you, because often they're saying something nice, or they're like, this part killed me, or I really like this, or this was so silly. But I also search just my name on Twitter, because then that's the people that are like, TJ Miller special sucks so bad. I don't know why.
I didn't even know you could search your name on Twitter.
Yeah.
Like your at mentions, yes.
Yeah, you can just search, just put in Jim Norton, and then the people that are too cowardly to tag you when they're talking shit. Kind of can. But I like that just as much, because I'm interested. It's not offensive, and it doesn't anger me when somebody doesn't like what I'm doing. I'm just interested in it. So the people that don't like the special, I kind of go and I look at their bio and see where they're from and what their opinions are. And, it's just like it's just an interesting little focus test on what works where and for who.
Why don't they like it?
And what they're like.
Yeah.
But it's getting to a point where I got to get off. It was like eventually I had to delete the news app or put it at the very end, because I was just checking the news every single day, all the time, kind of just to get worse and worse news.
Well, we can. It's hard because we can now. It's like, people get mad at it, but it's like, I remember a time when I couldn't do it, and it's just amazing to be able to do it. Just be able to walk around and fucking... I was thinking as I was texting the other day, like, I just remember not too long ago when you just had to wait until you got somewhere and you call somebody. It's nice to be like, to send a text to a girl, or I'm running late.
Right. And also just like, if you think of somebody, you can tell them about it. You can say, hey, the funniest thing happened to me just now. It reminded me of you. So you can text them immediately. And I also love that you can send pictures. Remember, there was a time when you could text, but you couldn't send pictures. I like sending random pictures as a response, because sometimes you don't want to get into a conversation, but you want to communicate with somebody.
Sure.
So that could be a fun way to do it too. But I mean, that tech stuff, like anything else, like pornography, like marijuana, like anything, you have to sort of do it in moderation, or at least try to. Because one thing that I learned, strangely, from Mark Wahlberg is that if you text someone immediately back, then you're teaching them that that's how you communicate over text. If you don't, if you text them whenever it's convenient for you to text back, then that's not rude. You're teaching them that you're very busy and that you will get back to them, but don't expect a response today or in this hour or whatever. So I started employing that, and it works really well. Because then people aren't like, oh, God, I just texted him. Why is he? If it's time sensitive, you text back. But if it's just like, hey, what's up? I'm in town next week. If you want to get a drink or something, then wait a day or two and take care of the other stuff you have to take care of.
Okay.
Get back to them when you can maybe send them a longer text or something more thoughtful, or you have something more concrete to say instead of quickly going, oh, let me check. I'm doing this. I'll text you later. They just text them later. But people don't I talk about this in the special. People are understanding that in a post-religious, post-meaning society, time is the closest thing we have to a deity, so it should be revered and treated as this very important, almost divine commodity. And so you should try and have more mastery over your time instead of people being like, oh, I never have enough time, or I need to spend more time doing this, or I'm always wasting my time. Then be assertive, take more control over it, or don't care so much about it. If you're like, I'm wasting time, well, maybe that's the best use of that time. It's just to sit around and watch VH1 and see whatever movie's on.
Just relax and kind of do nothing.
Yeah, don't feel like every hour needs to be filled. Sometimes they shouldn't be. But people have a tough time doing that because we're taught to sort of do it faster, save time, get this done, be able to do these two things at once. That's kind of the byproduct of living in a capitalistic society, which I like capitalism a lot.
Sure.
But, it does have negative side effects, just like any other kind of approach to a nation state.
It's also in social media.
That was really funny and interesting, TJ. God.
It's also in social media. You're afraid of falling between the cracks because there's so much happening. Everything moves so quickly that if I'm not doing something, I'm afraid. I never relax. I work every night, and it's like I'm afraid of falling between the cracks. And it's just so stupid and irrational because you don't fall between the cracks. It's okay to take a little time off. It's okay to breathe.
I went off on the President of the United States of America on Twitter just for a little while, and then my publicist was like, you got to delete those tweets, man. And I was like, why? Who cares? And he said, because things are really sensitive right now because of the shooting. And I hadn't checked on the internet, and so I was like, what shooting? And so things like that do fall in between the cracks, but I gotta say, I didn't need to know about that shooting immediately.
Yeah.
It's okay that I heard about it later and then took down the tweets, but most of this news is not good news. So
right.
I'm okay sometimes to take a break from it. But I didn't used to be. About a month ago, I was just online every second waiting for the next disaster.
Yeah, it's hard not to be. Somebody has a question here. Luke in LA has a question about Thursday. What's up, Luke? I'm doing taping something Thursday in LA. What do you want to know?
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Luke.
Hi, Jim. TJ.
Luke!
Email. Want to ask about, I got an email, you said that on the Twitter that you had, that you were going to be performing. I got an email this morning saying that the host had changed and that it's going to be Roy Woods Jr., but it didn't have any mention about your name on the actual email.
No, that's not surprising. Does it have any comedians mentioned, or just the show I'm doing is 9:30 on Thursday?
Okay, yeah, I reserved it, just making sure.
Thank you, yeah. Roy is the host.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah,
right,
he's really, really funny. Luke, have a great time.
Yeah, I like Roy. I think he's...
It's funny, he's really nice. He's always, he's very nice whenever I see him.
Yeah, no, I'm tired of him wearing suits, though. Stop it. I was so happy he was at the Comedy Cellar recently. He had to take off his dumb fucking dress shirt and just wear a T-shirt. It's 85 degrees. I love when guys who want to wear a suit can't.
Yeah. It's funny because I am always in a suit when I'm taping or doing stand up in it, but I also
you do wear a suit to tape.
But I also am completely drenched in water for most of my shows, so it's not that hot. I'm able to do both. I made it work to do both. But yeah, sometimes I am kind of I don't know. I am kind of, I will. Here's when I'll wear whatever I wore off the plane if I have a show that night. I just get there if it's a Thursday or a Wednesday or something. I'm just kind of I'm just gonna wear. It's also important sometimes to not wear a suit in Des Moines because they're sort of why I'm in flip flops and shorts. Why are you in a suit right now? Why aren't you just in shorts and flip flops? Whereas in Omaha, they sort of feel like you've gotten ready for the show and it's a real big show and they're paying a big ticket price, and they're going to have a steak dinner at the comedy club, and so it also depends on where I am. But
I wear the same thing every night, like the same a dumb like this, a regular T-shirt. You
don't think about what you're going to wear before you go on stage?
No, I mean it should be obvious by the way I dress that I've not thought about it. I would say just regular pants and a shirt. Like I never too much.
You never think to wear a blazer?
No, I don't like it. It's not,
ascot.
No, I'm not against that though. But it's not me.
Ascot. That sounds great. Polo tie.
Yeah.
Did you ever, when you were a young comedian, sort of think that you were supposed to wear a blazer or suit? Did you ever do it when you were coming up?
I used to make myself on Saturday nights. For Saturday shows, I would always wear a blazer and pants because I knew that if you taped certain TV shows, you had to. So I wanted to be comfortable in it. So that's why I didn't feel like I was a fucking, like when you put a monkey in a suit. I wanted to be able to perform in it comfortably. So I trained myself to do that on Saturday shows for years. Yeah. That was why. And then I finally did TV and I had to wear a suit. Like, you do Letterman, you got to wear a suit.
A blazer and no pants would have been good.
That would have been hot.
Yeah.
But I wore a suit jacket in Please Be Offended in 2012. And I was a fucking fatso then. And I don't know why I did it. I just decided to do it. It was kind of a shitty outfit though in hindsight. It was not a good outfit.
Yeah, that's funny when you watched an appearance. It's like looking at photographs of yourself from the past. You watch an appearance, you're like, that was a swing and a miss right there. That's I really. But at the time, you were like, this is going to be cool forever.
Yeah, like my look at this. I don't know what I was thinking. The pants came out a lot lighter. They're just you don't have to show. Just show the. Yeah, it's fucking awful, those pants. But they were actually nice without the stage lights on them. They weren't acid washed. They look like it, though. The lighting really fucked them up. Those were really great jeans until I saw them on film, and I'm like, oh, God, am I a cunt?
Tough skins.
Yeah, yeah.
And then did you...
I was fat then.
Yeah, how did you cut that weight?
Just eating different, working out.
Yeah,
it was like I just got sick of it.
AIDS.
Yeah, Denny said AIDS.
AIDS with mixed just a bit of syphilis. Yeah. You can drop pounds really fast.
AIDS and low self-esteem. My depression and the AIDS. I don't know which one did it faster. But no, it was just being tired of just being a fucking mess.
Yeah. I kind of after the election, especially, I just treated myself like a nihilist. I not a positive one. Just like
you were just celebrating.
Would just eat. Yeah, right. I would just eat. Just whatever, like pizza. It's the same thing when I gain weight for Silicon Valley, or when I used to, I would eat pizza and replace water with beer, which is just a wonderful lifestyle.
Yeah.
How much did you have to put on?
You're so happy. I would put on between 20 and 25 pounds for
They
that
wanted
show.
you to?
Yeah, in the beginning, my judge kind of said, after a while, they're like, you don't have to do that if you don't want to. But it isn't... It was so much funnier if this guy is such a blowhard and so overconfident when he looked like a dumpy toddler, And so I kind of took to doing that. Also, like I said, you are never happier than when you're only drinking beer and eating pizza. And then to cut the weight, you completely... Yeah, change the way you eat, kind of like what you said. But I would stop eating carbohydrates completely, just absolutely none at all. And then you don't eat sugar, so you only eat vegetables and meat, and then you stop eating 6 hours before you go to sleep.
Wow.
And the first 3 to 5 days of doing that, it is murder. It's like the worst situation you've ever been in. And all you want to do, it's like just recently saw Requiem for a Dream again. It's like the refrigerator starts to creep towards you a little bit, during those 6 hours. And then about 5 days later, you are never hungry at night. And then you wake up really hungry in the morning. And so you can have a really big breakfast, and then you really won't want that big of a lunch, and then you don't eat dinner.
Yeah, but you also have the small meals, like eat more during the day, they always say.
Yeah, you can. You can, absolutely. Yeah. But my wife and I, when we're cutting weight, for the most part, all we do is just, you don't eat dinner. Or if you eat dinner, you eat at 5:30 p.m. or 6.
And you weren't drinking anymore.
Yeah, that's right. But beer. You can drink gin. You can drink gin and soda is what I'll drink, but you can't drink 10 of them, which is sort of what I'll do if I'll go out for a night. But if you want to have a drink with dinner or some other drink at the end of the night, you can drink gin with either water or soda. Never tonic. Tonic is just like drinking soda pop. It's just all sugar. Yeah. That's something a lot of people forget. They're like, I'm going to have a light lunch and a couple of gin and tonics. It's like, nope, you are just eating candy bars and lettuce. So, but the cutting the weight really, really sucks, but you feel so much better.
Yeah.
You just don't feel weighted down. You feel good about yourself. It just feels better in general. So that was another thing. I was like, I've done this for 4 seasons. I'm ready to kind of get into the type of physique where a woman won't tell you to lose weight and maybe your girlfriend would want to fuck you.
Oh, that must have stung.
So maybe
that must have stung.
So maybe the next time you could come in, instead of bringing cheese, you could bring in pizza.
Yeah,
and beer.
I'll tell you what. Next time I come in, I'll bring a 6-pack of beers for everybody.
There you go.
Yeah, there's 6 people here, and not including me. I'll bring 2 6-packs, and I'll bring a full pie from Prince Street Pizza. You guys
I've never had Prince Street Pizza. Is it good?
Whoa! It is the best pizza I think I've ever had in my life in the world, and pizza is my favorite food. And it's their pepperoni Sicilian square slice. Even talking about it right now, I might go get one right after the show. And they're so nice in there, and it's just... it's his grandfather's recipe direct from Italy, and nobody knows exactly how they make the dough and all this, all
How's
of
the
those
regular
fun
pizza?
things. They only sell these Sicilian square slices with pepperoni, and they may have a cheese version of it, but they sell margarita pie. Like you can get slices of
I like that one.
And I don't like Sicilian slices either.
No, it's too much bread.
But it isn't. When we eat theirs, it's very filling, but it's so, I promise you, it's the only Sicilian slice I eat. Yeah, it's right there. They have these great pepperonis. But that is the one thing that I really covet in New York City. And they're so nice to me there because their son Dominic really likes Transformers 4, strangely. And so my picture's on the wall, and they won't let me pay when I go and eat there, so I just tip really, really big. And it's really, really something else.
Okay, how many will you eat when you go? Do you just have one slice?
I always go. I order one slice and a Peroni, right? So you're on that pizza and beer diet.
Yeah.
And then I end up eating 2 or 3 slices and 4 Peronis. So it goes from promising that I'm just going to have one, and at the end of it, you're like, no, I got to have another. So it's good.
I try not to, because Colin, when I go with fucking Colin to this place on 6th Avenue. It's in the Village. It's right off 6th Avenue, John's. And I think it's John's or is it Joe's? It might be Joe's. And it's my favorite pizza, and I always wind up having a couple slices, and then I'm on a fucking food binge for 6 months.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Every one I've had in the last 5 years is because of fucking stupid Colin taking me to this pizza place. Then I have a couple of slices, and it's so good, it makes me want to not stop.
I think I know the Joes you're talking about because they have one in Hollywood on Hollywood Boulevard, and it is great pizza. But yeah, that's the problem is that's why you can't eat any carbohydrates when you're cutting weight, because once you have it, you want more. It's the same kind of it's a junkie mentality. But that's Prince Street Pizza. I'll tell you what, I've got to, can't do it. Got to do it at least once a week, or I'd rather be dead.
Can you walk there from your house?
Yeah.
How close?
It's like 13 blocks. It's really close.
Oh, that's an easy walk. And then you almost feel like, well, I'm walking, so I can fucking have it.
That's definitely a trick in New York. He's like, I'm going to have a second slice. I'm about to walk 30 blocks. No, because then on that walk, you see another pizza place, and you're like, I wonder if this place is good. And then the thing about Prince Street Pizza is once you've had that, a lot of places in New York, you'll eat pizza and go, that was a mistake. Why did I waste that pizza experience on, this when I could have gone to Prince Street Pizza, the king of pizzerias?
I'm craving pizza. I haven't had it in fucking probably a year.
I thought you had it at your special, right? You had a slice.
Oh, you know what? I think you're right, Danny. Sorry, I did have it in December. You're right. That was the last time I had it. No, you're right. That was the last time I had it.
Did you tape a special recently? You said that
It came out in March.
It came out in March, and you said you burned that material. Like did you not do it? Any of it again after
I did one
it?
show after that. I had a New Year's Eve show. I taped it in December 17th. I had one more show. that I had to do an hour at, and not since.
Yeah, because I don't have a ton of material that I didn't use in the special, but I've been using that, and then it's so nice having done this for so long to be able to just talk about your day, like I did Whiplash at UCB last Monday, and I'm doing it tonight. I think I will be at Whiplash tonight, and I'm going to tweet out all the places I'll be tonight in Manhattan. But it's it was so cool to just like talk about the day, and you're still killing because you've been a comic for so long, but just to sort of talk through things and figure out what your next material is going to be, I think is really interesting.
Boy, did I eat my dick at New Joke Night last week. Oh.
Really?
Oh. At the Fat Black Pussycat, they have this new joke, which is fun. Oh, I ate my dick awful. And there was no way. I bombed at the cellar the other day, too. I had a couple of really good bombs in the last few weeks.
What was your joke?
I had done a rape joke, but it's not even a nasty rape joke. I'm talking about the concept of rape jokes and what's appropriate, what's not. So I did that, and it's been getting laughs because people see why I'm saying it. But this audience iced me, stone, and I was like, wow. So then I dug out of it a little bit, but it was kind of tentative, and I'm like, you're still mad at me for that rape joke? And they laughed, and then they started laughing, and I got them back, and I'm like, hey, don't forget that I did that rape joke. I was really annoyed at them but by then it was okay. But I was so bombing.
Funny. Yeah, I sometimes it's fun because you're like, what? On my birthday in Ireland, I had 3 shows. One was like this podcast chat show. Then there was a stand-up show that I hosted that was in like front of 100 people. And then my third show was in front of 1,000 people. And so the first show went great. It was amazing. I was like, well, this is perfect. My birthday's going so well. What a great warm-up for the next 2 shows. The second show I killed because as a host, I do really well because I'm good at making people feel like, oh, okay, this is my friend and he's going to shepherd us through the show. And so I was like, this is the best birthday ever. Third show, ate a shit sandwich. No one was laughing.
Were you hosting?
No, I was the headliner, and I was, I made the mistake of like going into kind of some stuff that I have on the state of the American regime, and, it was very clear they did not want to hear about that. They wanted to hear about what Americans thought about Irish people and, how funny it is the way Irish people talk and how much Irish people drink because they don't feel like the United States thinks that Ireland is very important.
Oh.
And so they like to have us come there and talk about them and notice their culture and notice them and say what's great about them and what they think is silly about them. So I kind of went towards that after I made this kind of mistake talking about politics, because I'm also not a political comedian, so I'm new to even talking about any of that kind of stuff. But that's a rough thing on your birthday at the end of it to just, it was silent.
1,000 people.
Hundreds of people got up and left because I was the last person. So throughout my entire set, I'm just watching heads go. And also that horrible thing when 2 people turn to each other a few times and that they're like, should we even stay? We should get out of here, right?
Maybe they were just tired.
Yeah, right. Tired of my bullshit.
How'd the guy before you do?
Great.
That's the worst. And you can't even blame the crowd.
It was, who was it? Somebody came up before me. It was this very funny Irish comedian. I forget his name. But then I went up, and his act was a lot about, sex and being married and having kids. And so then I came on stage, and like my material trying to pull out of a nosedive is all still this like ridiculous shit about how I know more about giraffes than anyone else in the audience. It's not as if I can immediately get them with like a drug and alcohol chunk. And then the guy who went up after me was Tommy Tiernan, who's a super fan, and he destroyed even after I had bombed so hard. So it was also that awkward, like, now my birthday is backstage having these awkward conversations with the audience being like, yeah, they were tired. I could definitely feel it. They felt tired. In their mind, they're like, you're the worst comedian in the world. Why did you come here and ruin our show?
And then, but Tommy is destroying after you?
Killed. And then got off stage and was like, yeah, they were kind of tired, but they got there. And I was like, yeah. I mean, he might as well have said very politely, like, you really fucked up the audience before me. So my first 15 minutes was affected by that. But then I'm such a good comedian that I pulled myself out of a hole that you dug for me.
Yep.
But that'll happen. That's kind of the part of the fun of. That's why I said to Kate. She goes, "Oh God, well, what do you want to do right now? I mean, do you just want to get drunk? Do you want to go home and go to sleep? I mean, you must feel so terrible." And I kind of felt like, nah, that's sort of funny. Like that's part of what stand-up is.
Sure.
On your birthday, you can take a shit just as easily as any other, day of the year.
How long ago is this?
June 4th.
Oh, this just happened. Okay.
Just happened. So it's pretty raw. And then we left the next morning really early, and so we were both just so hungover and out of it, and kind of it wasn't my favorite 48 hours.
Yeah, good bombing once in a while cleanses the soul.
Now, does that happen the other way, like the comedian before you bombed and then you go on and you had to?
Yeah, of course, yeah. But I always think, that also is part of being a stand-up. You can't be a great comic if you can't pull yourself out of a situation that was left behind for you.
Sure. Oh, you have to. You have to. Regardless, if the guy kills too hard in front of you, you fucking got to follow it. And if he takes a giant dump, you got to get the back into shape. It's part of it.
And one other thing that's part of it that really sucks, that only happens when kind of later in your career, is I have a tough time if I do a drop in and they put me up and they have to put me up right away because I have another set after that. If I go up and everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's that guy from television," and then I do very, very well, often then I'll bury the person that goes up after me. So it's a comedian who's been doing it for less time. And the worst thing that they can do is kind of make fun of the fact that they had to follow TJ Miller, or just look at the situation I'm in, because the audience is there. They've just had a great time. So what they want you to do is be like, "Wow, isn't that cool? Let's give him another round of applause." All right, so now, and then go into your act.
Because they're not thinking of following. They don't know that.
There's not a concept. This is just another comedian, and they got to see a really good comedian just now, so they're excited to see another good comedian.
Right.
But often people will make that mistake. They'll be like, "Whoa, give a round of applause for the most famous person in the room." Well, he really left me in a terrible situation. Okay, guys. So, and then it's almost.
Why do they do that? That's crazy.
I think they're nervous and they want to call out something that they think everybody is thinking about in the audience, but no one's thinking about that until they say, "I'm going to have a tough time following."
Right.
It'd be like a magician being like, "Well, I'm not as good as the last magician you saw, and some of these tricks, if you look really closely, you'll be able to see exactly how I do them." All right, let's get started.
Right.
I have 3 rings, and I'm going to need somebody from the audience to come up here. It's the worst idea that you can have. But somebody told me once, they go, "Why do comedians say, all right, I'm going to leave you on this?" Or "Okay, I'm going to do the one last thing and then get off stage." It was such a sage piece of wisdom, because you're telling the audience, all right, this is my closer. So you can't catch them off guard, and they're expecting it to be the funniest part of your act.
Right.
And then you're saying, all right, I'm going to do this and then get out of here. They're like, all right, this one's going to be good. And if it's not great, they're kind of like, Whereas if you do a joke that is funny and it's your closer, no matter how well it does, when you're like, all right, good night, everyone's like, that was good. I like that. That was a fun time the entire time.
See, what I do when I have to go is, if it's going really well, I'll go, "Hey, look, I got to get out of here. I don't want to, but they're telling me I got to go."
Yeah, I love that. And then you go, "So just remember that rape joke, and I'll see you again soon." It's been Jim Norton.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think they do that for the other comedians waiting too. Like somebody will go, "All right, look, at my last," it's like if you know you're going over your time.
Yeah.
Some guys, if you're supposed to do 12, but you're on 13 already, and you know you got a fucking 2-minute bit coming up, all right, look, in closing, before I go, let me just say.
Yeah, see, you could tell the person who's been giving the light 3 or 4 times, like, I am going to get off on this one. Yeah, but you're definitely over your time. Oh,
yeah.
So true. And then, interesting that you say you're supposed to do 12 and you're already at 13. I found because the sets are shorter here, shorter sets, because they're shets here. You think in terms of minutes, really in terms of like 1 minute. This bit is 2.5 minutes. Yeah. Whereas in Los Angeles, you do kind of longer sets. So going over would be like you're supposed to do 20, but you're at 25.
Right.
And you're like, all right, I got to wrap this up before I hit 30. It's just a different way of thinking about time out here. Because everything happens in a New York minute and a half. In the Large Apple, the city that rarely sleeps. Huh? Let's go see a music play on Broad Street. I'm just starting to get together,
You're not
guys.
wrong. None of that
I live
was
near
wrong.
North Houston, Prince Street is in South Houston. Yeah, I'm getting it together. Sorry, South Houston.
Houston.
Yeah, Yeah.
Houston was actually correct.
Yeah, I know. Houston, that was the one thing that I noticed that I hate about New York and Los Angeles is that it's Houston and people think you're an idiot if you say Houston. Just like they say Lex, and if you say Lexington, they're like, get with the program.
Yeah.
But that's the same in Los Angeles. They're like, it's not La Cienega, it's La Cienega. And I'm like, but it's not spelled that way. And they're like, it's Sepulveda, not Sepulveda. And it's just like, you guys are just doing this to be assholes.
People are cunty.
You're just assholes that want to be able to tell someone, like, we do it a little differently around here. Y'all ain't from around these parts, are you? It's pronounced Houston.
That is what it all comes down to.
I think so. Because why? It's everywhere else, it's Houston. I don't know. It's pretty funny. But I refuse to say Soho or NoHo. I say North Houston and South Houston.
As you should. We have to wrap up. We have 1 minute.
Okay.
So let's plug.
There you go. It's getting that minute.
And the,
exactly 58 seconds.
We have 1 minute. The computer cut us off. But TJ, I'm really happy you're in New York, man. I'll be seeing a lot of you.
I hope to see you all the time.
Meticulously Ridiculous. It's TJ's new HBO special. It's on HBO Go. It's on demand. You can catch TJ at not TJ Miller on Twitter. TJ Miller does not have a website.com. Thank you for coming on, man. It was great having you.
Thank you guys for having me. I love your audience, and I hope you guys see me perform stand-up comedy not after Jim Norton, but right before him.
Whenever you see him. Denny, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
And all right, and thank you for not liking TJ's treat. That was really embarrassing for all of us.
I did not like it. Yeah.
And just go to my website, and the new Chip podcast is up today. And hopefully Sam was not dead, and we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.